it's sushi!
You had all day to sushi.
Beautiful. She had no warning that this was happening. I do not blame.
Well, stream is start. Let me fix my stream then.
Yes, well, that's my haggis. What did I just say?
What did you just say?
I think I just said something about haggis. Haggis? What's it called? The food dish that exists?
What are you talking
There's
about?
like a food. What's it called? Hang it.
Wazando Protection Squad. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
obviously you know it. Let's see if I can find what
Wazando.
and also haggis.
Where would I have put the
Haggis?
thumbnail?
Haggis?
Yes, there we go.
Including results for haggis. Haggis, Scottish Gaelic, is a savoury pudding containing sheep's pluck, hot liver and lungs, minced with onion, oatmeal, sweat, spices. What the heck? Ew. Is that like? Oh, this is the thing that's like served in a stomach or something, and then it's cut open. Ew, disgusting.
No.
I don't think I would. Cooked while traditionally encased in the animal's stomach. This is horrible. This is like all the bits that you have left over of an animal, and you know, you just found a way to use all of them for. Oh no, that's awful. I hate that. Never want to eat that. I don't even like shepherd's pie or anything all that much.
You're a
It's like
shepherd
next
pie.
level. I'm sorry, I don't know why I looked this up. I've traumatized the entire stream. Hello, Gaming Roblox and Starlight Silver and Coyote Glitch. How are you all? Hello, comma.
Hello, comma?
Same. Oh, it cut me out. He put like 10,000 bajillion like not slanty faces, just like meh faces. So I interpreted that as just eh.
Oh no.
Seb says, "Yo, what's up? About to play a League tourney, but I'll hop in from time to time."
Whoa.
I thought you said you hated League. I'm sorry. Hello, Eric Roman. Dear Livesy. Dr. Livesy.
Livesy. What?
If you
What
say
does that
so.
mean?
I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
I'm going to sneeze.
Nothing's
maybe.
going to need a doctor to save his life, see? But yeah, good luck, Seb. Win that tournament. I believe in you. You can do it.
I believe as well.
Coyote says, well, I was just watching one of your Dragon Prince videos, and now you guys are streaming! I know, right? That's
Wow.
crazy times. My alarm is going off to tell me to go to sleep. How dare it? I'm gonna ignore it, because I don't need sleep. That's such a lie. Oh my gosh.
I'm being forced to play it against my will. Myself is forcing myself, and it's ouch.
Wow,
So mean
yikes.
to Seb.
Yikes, 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 yikes. I, should set the clock!
I should say I was thinking about the other day because I was telling somebody about Nancy Drew and how we have like so many weird inside jokes.
We do!
The books and the games. Like, I read the name Nathan Gomber and it brought back so many memories.
Nathan
And then,
Gopher.
then do you remember, it's so bloomin' hot in here. Outside.
Oh my gosh, yes! There's a bee!
There's a bee in your house, Nancy.
Oh
And then Henrik,
gosh.
I need to know where you
put the
Pakal
carving.
carving.
I can't remember!
Poor Henrik, we put him through so much.
I'm losing my mind. Okay, I should give a little context to the stream as to why I'm losing my mind.
Oh
So,
boy.
last Sunday was the last time I had a moment of free time to think to myself. Since then, I got up to go to work on Monday, went to work for a full day of work on Monday, immediately after work went to the airport on Monday, flew to Colorado on Monday,
I'm a giraffe.
got to Colorado on Monday, finally got
I'm a
into the
giraffe.
What the heck?
Sorry, I'm obligated to say that every time we say Colorado.
What the heck? Anyway, I was there for a conference for like learning programming stuff. It was a Java related thing. Fun time. But, you know, it started from 9 a.m. and went till like 9 p.m. So it was just like a full day. Wake up, program, learn programming, cram programming into heads, cram, blah, 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 and then no time to yourself, no time to think, no time to relax. All crazy times. And then repeat that for like several days. So, then I finally, on Friday, finished the conference after having like 0 minutes to relax and be myself that whole time. Or even I didn't even have like my computer with me to take notes or do anything fun. It was all programming and like work related. So I spent like 120 hours just doing work stuff this week. It was crazy. Okay, maybe not 120, maybe more like 100.
Oh no.
Anyway, then on Friday after the conference, immediately after the conference, went to the airport. Waited at the airport for like 8 hours because my coworker had a different flight than me, so we both had to go there at the same time, and then I just had to sit around and wait. Then my flight got delayed, so I got to wait even longer. I finally got on the plane, and then we waited some more, and then we took off after midnight, and then I landed at like 6 or something, and then my other coworker, picked me up and got me back home. Finally, made it home to actually get an wink of sleep at
And wink.
7 a.m. And then I like hibernated for most of Saturday, just like trying to recover from the constant go 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 go, and like having no sleep the night prior because I was flying on a plane that was very uncomfortable. They designed it to be as uncomfortable as possible just to make you suffer because they want you to pay more money on an upgraded ticket. Anyway, um, then I got home, I did my thing, I slept, tried to recover a little bit, but then I had to prepare for D&D and church that I was scheduled to run camera duty on, and immediately after church I prepared the D&D, then I played D&D, I was running the game. It was a very complicated, probably one of the most complicated combats that I've run, which is bad for me because that was a
Oh
lot of
boy.
things to keep track of, and I'm running on like -2% sensibleness, and I did that for longer than expected. So we stopped like just before the stream. Like McKay was asking where I was an hour ago. I didn't even notice it because I was still doing D&D, and then I was like, "Oopsie, sorry. Well, we will stream now. We
But
can't."
it was okay because
Yeah.
I
So,
don't feel good today
so
anyway, so I was
I've just
like
been
dying.
go 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 mode for the last like I guess it's been basically an entire week. Like I haven't had any relaxed time in an entire week. So I'm running on fumes and I'm having a great time. I thrive on the stress and the chaos. I'm gonna
Oh
have a heart
no.
attack at age 30. Anyway, um
Seb says, also McKay, my entire top half of my body is bright red because of the burn of the sun. Me too, and
Whoa,
I don't know
no.
why that happened because like the last time I went to the pool, I was there for the same amount of time and I didn't get burned like at all. So I don't know why yesterday the sun was extra toasty or something.
Wait, were
But
you guys
yeah.
there together? Is Seb
Yes,
there?
he
What?
is back in the Carolina of
Oh,
North for
I'm
a while before he goes to
jealous.
college.
Well, have fun, you people, being together. I'll just
We were,
be
yes, we were
away.
actually together twice this weekend on Friday and
Wow.
on
I wish
Saturday.
I could hang with someone as cool as Seb. In fact, I wish I could hang with someone as cool as you. I'm just alone
Oh,
and sad in alligator land.
hey, you have Megonius.
Okay, she exists, yes.
She's cool. I deem her as cool.
Okay, good. I'm glad you deem her as cool. I'm sorry I've missed on chat. Has
Jade
anyone...
says, "Oh my gosh, finally I can make it to a stream finally."
Woo! Sorry, that
Welcome to the
was...
stream.
My
Seb
voice
says, "I
already hurts
read
from talking so
Mal
much.
plus Sap in the title and my brain goes, "Ah yes, maple syrup."
Mal+Sap, yes! I'm sorry.
That's
My
their ship name now, maple syrup.
my voice hurts from DMing for the last like 3 hours, and I've just been constantly talking. So I...
Jade says, "Bro, I'm running on 5% because I'm coming back from a South Carolina trip." Whoa,
Well,
you're close to me.
samesies, bro. Sad in Alligator Land, yes. I mean, they're it's like being in Dragonland, Dragon Tales, but they're real and they eat you, unfortunately. I thought
I thought
Megan
Megan
was
was
EJ
EJ
friend.
friend. She
Yes,
is.
that is true. That is true. Is Starlight Silver the one who... they've changed their names now, so now I'm even more confused than I used to be. That's not the one that's in this call. That's the other one, right? Starlight?
Yes.
Gotcha. I'm learning slowly and I have no brain cells to do that with. I've probably deleted some other information as a result. Uh,
Oh,
something about
I'm
Dragon
fake silver.
Prince.
Oh yeah, apparently the next season of Dragon Prince came out early for some weird reason, so
Oh,
people are talking about
surprise?
that.
Whoa.
I guess, I don't know.
If you say
That
so.
seems like a weird thing for the company to do, but okay.
I would love to just do it on a stream so we don't have to bother with it, but I'm sure we would get somehow like annihilated from existence with the copyright immediately.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean that completely makes sense, but still. Anyway, let's see. Have we missed anything else unfortunate? What?
Have we missed anything unfortunate?
Oh, I have stories that I could tell about the conference too.
Oh
Mostly
boy.
the like misfortunes related to like travel and stuff. I feel like it would be better to not tell the story right now, but instead to tell it later because I wanted to like write it up and tell it as like a nice compact little
Just
comedy
like the
story,
poop
just
story.
like the poop
I'm
story.
waiting for the poop story that made
I
me cry laughing.
eventually it'll come out, okay? Even if I just tell the story and I
I
don't
hope
like
your poop comes out eventually.
No! Do not insult my poop. I'm sorry.
I did not insult it. I
I
wished it the best.
I'm glad you wish my poop the best. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Anyway, so these people that you see before you on my desktop now, this is my desktop now because we're reading a story about these people. And I feel like I was gonna get judged because someone came over just like the day after I set my desktop to this, and I was like, oh no, I just set my desktop to. They're gonna think I'm a furry. This is ridiculous. But she thought it was cute, so I stand by it. Anyway, uh, I just looked at the chat and all I saw is there was a wrestler, and then I saw him cuddles, and I'm like, what's the rest of that statement? There's a
Cute.
wrestler who lives in Florida, has pet alligators and crocodiles, where they give him cuddles. Yes, he is real. Whoa, that's
Oh.
wow, cool. Samwise says, "How's the wife and kids, EJ?" Oh, I wish I had them. Unless you're talking about the fictional ones, in which case, I don't know because I'm dead.
Also, stream,
PJ.
hello. Hopefully, I will be fine because I ate normal food like a normal person and it decided to hurt my stomach. So I kind of feel like but hopefully I'll be fine.
Oh, I thought you were reading a message at first, and I was desperately trying to find the message you were
No,
reading,
no, it's
but
just
no,
simply
that's
me speaking.
Michaela is doing the ouch. I am sorry, sis. Hopefully we can distract you with lovely story. But I'm
Honestly,
sure.
you know what? After
Hmm?
like having many years of being like really, really sick, where eating anything would give me like such bad pain that I wanted to cry, this is nothing. I'm like only a little bit sick right now. I'm like, this what normal people experience when they eat something that might have been a little wrong? Because
Oh
this is
no.
totally fine. What?
Totally hackapose.
So yes, after being in hell for like 3 years, I can withstand anything.
Wow. So you're like, wow, this is nothing. I enjoy
Yeah,
this
I mean,
pain.
no, I do not, but I'm like, it's nice to not like have a panic attack when my stomach hurts, you know?
Why is this leaking on me? I have been peed on by my water bottle.
Oh no.
I really am PJ now. I'm sorry. Have
PJ.
y'all played Stardew Valley? I never have. I have seen other people play it though. I think you guys would really enjoy it. No, I mean, it's interesting, but I feel like I've kind of sworn off resource gathering games at this point in my
Sure
life
enough.
because I played way too much Minecraft back in the day, and I realized I was spending so much time just gathering freaking resources to build the things I wanted to build, and that was just not fun. And I'm like, why am I wasting hours of my time doing this when I could just build the same thing that I want to build in creative mode? This is a freaking waste of time. Survival mode's a scam. Why am I here? I'm wasting my life. And then I kind of just I got burnt out. I gave up on survival mode. Especially because I was like being added to multiple SMPs at that point, and I was like, "This, I can't. I don't want to get freaking enchanted gear on every single one of these servers. I just one. Just one is too much effort. I'm done with this. So, especially once they added Netherite, no way, never going back. So I don't like games that don't respect my time anymore. Um, and I mean, all games have a little bit of grinding, but like I don't know, I just don't enjoy resource gathering that kind of thing anymore. So yeah, no Stardew Valley, no Terraria, no Minecraft anymore these days.
Hey, guess what I've been
What?
doing?
Please don't block me. I'm not that kind of furry. Oh no. What have you been doing?
I've been making pretty Spotify playlists. Because you can add like a
Pretty?
little picture for your playlists, and I didn't. I knew you could do that. I just was never wanting to in the past. But then I just randomly got obsessed with it, and all my playlists are pretty now.
Whoa, that's cool. EJ is
Yes.
a recovering Minecraft addict. Yeah, Honestly, I'd be curious, but also terrified to find out how many hours I've spent in Minecraft over the course of my life. I'm sure it's more than Sea of Thieves, and Sea of Thieves is also an
Oh
obscene
no.
amount. I'm sure it's
Bye,
like
Seb. Have a good
multiple
tournament.
orders of magnitude bigger. Bye, Seb. Hope you win your tournament.
Are you
Hope you find
winning,
your
Seb?
dad. Wish I could have played Minecraft in its prime, but sadly I missed out on that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy Minecraft in the sense of like exploring, finding cool things, building something when I already have the stuff, but I don't like the boring, grindy like, oh, I gotta get the thing so I can do the thing, so I can craft the thing, so I can do the other thing. It's just a waste of time. I just don't want to do that anymore. I would happily cheat if I could. I mean, Mal+Sap spends weeks trying to find a
Wait,
slightly
what was
different
that
colored
thing I
Pokemon.
said?
I don't know how he does it, man. I don't know. Ah, EJ noticed me. Hi, Isabella. I mean, should I call you England now? I don't know. I'm always second guessing what to call people at this point. I just hope Simmer doesn't get here. I'm sorry, Simmer. Uh,
Hey, you want an out of context quote from me?
I would love an out of that's possible. How about
I
much?
said, I like them just fine, I just don't trust them. And then I said, me with men.
Hold on, say it again, but pretend I'm like no brain and I'm very slow right now.
I said, I like them just fine, I just don't trust them. And then I said, me with men, even though that wasn't the original topic, and that's why it's funny. Ha ha ha.
Interesting. Who said this? You said this? I said
I
this?
said,
You said this? Why? But not for that. I'm confused.
what?
Did you all see the Barbie movie? There's a Barbie movie?
There is. I have not seen it. I
Why
don't
is there a
know.
Barbie
I
movie?
don't quite understand why everyone's obsessed with it because I never even like saw the trailer or anything. I just know it exists. But
Is,
apparently everyone's like, "Oh, I'll go see the Barbie movie." So I don't know.
is Hollywood like so devoid of ideas that they're just like, something popular. What's popular with like that? We'll look at that little like 6-year-olds on in the toy aisle like that. So we'll make a movie about it. This
I don't
genius.
think it's
We
like
will
it's not
make our
made for
money
kids. I
back.
don't think it's
Is it
like
not? Oh,
it's like for all ages. I think. I don't
okay.
know.
I saw the Barbie movie with my friends. It was super weird but fun. Huh, interesting. EJ doesn't know there's a Barbie movie, does not know Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
I'm having a stroke. I don't even understand what's happening.
I just know that it has Margot Robbie.
You have an obscene amount of hours in Minecraft, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is my second most played game last year, and I bought it in October and got that statistic in December. Don't make me do month math right now. I've spent so much brain power on programming and all kinds of stuff. In fact, I've got a like toy program just running in the background right now on my other laptop just because I don't know why. Just because I had so much program in my brain, I had to get some program out into the real world too. Ah! We need to start reading or I'm going to crash and die before we even get through a chapter.
Okay.
If you all remember, we have been reading a story that I wrote when it doesn't really matter what age I was. It was recent-ish, like a couple years ago. So it's not like old and cringy like my other writings were. It's only cringy in the sense of like, oh, EJ wrote a fanfic type thing about his D&D character because he has, wanted a romantic fantasy or whatever. Not like that, calm down. Like the, what's it? McKay, help me. I can't words right now.
He just wrote an origin story for his D&D characters who end up married, so obviously there's a bit of romance because they have to fall in love at some point, but there's also trying to kill each other, so that's cool.
It's an action romance story. That's what I was trying to think of. I don't know
Yeah.
why I said it so terribly. But like it's got the classic tropes of like, oh, they get injured and they look after each other. I don't know. I don't know why I'm even saying it's like a trope or like any of that kind of stuff cuz like that's just
It's my favorite
normal. That's
tropes.
in movies, that's everywhere. So it's not really even like a cliche cringe or whatever. I think it was
True.
done decently well here. At least that's what
Yeah.
we've determined so far. McKay is validating me. I feel less cringe about its
Because I have the
existence.
freaking exact same plans for my thing that I will write someday.
Good stuff. I'm
I
glad.
want to start writing it, but things have just been crazy and VBS is this week, so we'll see what happens. And we still have to actually like discuss stuff, but we've both been so busy, so.
Mm-hmm. I
Because
still want to
Ethan's
write my
actually
second
helping
story.
me to come up with ideas because I actually feel validated to talk about something I'm excited to write, and
Yay.
it's so fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry I've been so busy for the past week.
No, it's okay.
I have not
I've
existed at
had
all.
Sebastian over, and I've had other things happening. I forgot what they were, but
Starlight says, EJ, I said fan art, give me attention! Okay, I'm on it. McKay, would you like to try to give a recap of the story thus far for those who have no idea what's happening? And I will um, look for this fan art and try to send it over, and also complain about the guy who was snoring on my plane, and I don't know how to say. Whoa!
Okay.
How dare you
Whoa.
traumatize me with more snoring?
I wasn't snoring, you
I
weirdo.
know, I'm just being a person, okay?
That's not allowed.
Humor's not working.
Okay, so here's the story, guys. So there's these two dragonborn people, which means that they're like dragons, but they walk on two legs and stuff. And so, they're like dragon people. And so one of them is blue, her name's Saphira. One of them is yellow, his name is Malthus. And Saphira saw Malthus, and she thought that he was with the bad guys, so she freaking attacked him and tried to kill him. And he's like, "Bro, I'm not with the bad guys. What are you doing?" And she's like, "I hate you." So they like fought. She tried to kill him, but then they started running because like the evil magistrate boys were coming after them. So she's like, "Oh no, we gotta run!" So they were running. And then they found this baby in a house that like collapsed and killed his parents, or one of them at least. I don't know. And so they took this baby with them, and it was like the two of them traveling with the baby, and they had to do the whole like fake married trope. And then they like found this house to stay in, and we found out that Malthus is really bad at everything, like cooking and changing diapers and everything, and
He
stealth and
accomplishes
everything.
it just in his own way. Bless his heart.
And then they started trying to find a way out of the city because they don't want to go to the refugee camps because those are bad. But then there's like other refugees that like Malthus would help sneak out to the other place. So they were going to those refugees. So they had to blow a freaking hole in the wall by like stealing a gun from this crazy lady named Storm who like cracked Saphira's ribs by stepping on her really hard. Um, so they like blew up the wall and they left through there. And they went to the camp where they found Saphira's family, her brother and her parents, and for some reason her dad sounds like he's ancient. Just don't question that.
Oh,
Um,
I forgot the old man's voice, or the dad's voice.
yeah, I mean I don't really remember what it sounded like. I just know he was really old. Um, and so then Malthus like waited. He was like waiting out the side of the tent in the rain like a weirdo because Saphira was super injured. Oh, she got like super mad at him. She was yelling at him, and then she straight up passed out because she was like really injured, and the power of rage killed her. Um, but he like waited for her, and he was like, "You good, sir?" She's like, "Yeah."
Sir?
Um,
Sir? Oof.
and then
Good luck ever getting
they
together with her now.
they were chilling in the camp, and then oh, the magistrate are following them, and then there was like they caught up to them, and Storm was there, and Saphira got so mad, and she was gonna like kill Storm, but then she got freaking struck by lightning.
I think she
So that was
caused the
cool.
lightning to strike her because she was so zappy.
Yeah, but did it actually affect the bad guys, or did it just like implode
It
her?
did, cause like
Okay.
if Storm hadn't had that like shield up, it would have exploded her. But instead, it just kind of bounced
Uploaded?
off the shield and like killed
Oh,
everyone
okay.
in the general vicinity behind her. They were like
Got
dusted.
it.
Thanos snapped.
Yeah, so she Thanosed everyone. And then she was like I think she was like still picking a fight with Storm or something, and then Malthus like took a bullet for her, except not really a bullet, more like a something. Um, and so he's like bleeding on the ground, and she's like trying to pick shrapnel out of his abdomen. And they're like fighting, and she's like, "Why do you keep trying to rescue me?" And he's like, "Because you freaking run into danger all the time. What is wrong with you?" And like they were like fighting, but also he's like bleeding on the ground, so it was that classic thing.
When you're bleeding
Um,
on the ground.
exactly, yeah. So that's where we left off. He was like bleeding on the ground, and she was like yelling at him, and they were like, yeah. I don't really remember exactly
It's
how
the
it
classic,
ended.
you idiot, how dare you get hurt for
How,
me.
yeah, how dare you take a bullet from me? Now you're dying. And he's
Yep.
like, you were freaking gonna die.
Oh boy. And then they saw a Dumbledore wannabe! Ah!
Yes, how could I forget Wazando?
Wazando! Favorite character. We always pick some random side character with a funny voice to be our favorite. That's happened all three times, hasn't it? Wait, who
Yeah,
was it? Who
probably.
was it in Super EJ? Was it Dejeti?
Um,
Maybe?
maybe
I don't
I
know.
can't
There were
remember. Oh no no no, Ekpati.
Ekapati? Ekapati was
It
funny,
was
but I don't know if he had a good voice. I don't remember his voice.
I don't yeah, if we're talking voices, I don't know.
Oh, oh well.
I don't know. Oh,
Heaven times
best.
Gwen forever because we love to abuse EJ. No, don't please abuse me.
I love
No.
this art. This is so cute.
I know, it's so great. Thank you so much for the art, Starlight. That's so great. Oh man.
How could you side with the magistrate?
Oh, I didn't even realize that the text was relating to what she was saying. I thought it was just like newspaper print in the background. I didn't even read it.
No,
Haha!
she's getting
Something killed my
angry.
family. I think everyone's people. She wants to date me, doesn't she? I don't know if that's what's going through his head right now. That's great. I love it. Thank you so much for the art. I always feel special when people make art of anything relating to like stuff I've created. That makes me happy. I feel special. Dragons with 2 feet like each other to end.
Oh.
That's yeah, fair enough. Accurate. Except, they haven't said anything about it yet. It's left up to interpretation. It's all an illusion. Anyway, so that's the story thus far. Malthus got shot is the last thing that happened, and we should probably
Starlight
make
says,
sure he's okay.
you said you said we didn't know what was in Mel's head, so we could be freaking out every time Saf looks at him.
Yeah, he could be going, "Oh, I hate love so much, man." Classic Super EJ vibes.
Yep.
Let's see. Pretty much. Oh, Isabella says I read pretty much everything but the last chapter. You've gotten ahead of us. Oh man, unless
Oh
you mean
yes,
that
she
you've
did.
read everything except chapter
Hold on, I will
9.
be right back. Entertain them for a second.
No spoilers. But yeah, cool. That's good stuff. I'm glad I'm glad people are enjoying my stories now, cause like I'm pretty sure these had like 1 or 0 views, and those 1 or 2 views may have been me as I was proofreading. So nobody has read this story before you guys, and I'm glad people are actually appreciating this and having fun with these characters that I love. And I enjoyed playing D&D with them so much, and like having this whole family dynamic, this fake family that I don't actually have yet. Uh, I enjoyed these characters so much that I decided to go back and write this backstory. And I was going to give a spoiler about the D&D campaign, but I hope to someday finish that D&D campaign someday when people are actually available to do it. And when that happens, we will find out the end of this story with Malthus and Saphira. But in the meantime, we'll just go back to this backstory, which exists, and we will have a good time. So we're picking up back where we left off, chapter 10. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you. Or you really enjoyed reading it. Sorry. I'm really bad at braining right now. I don't know how I'm going to read this. I apologize if I make up mistakes every 4.5 seconds. Um, let's see. It's only 10 p.m. in the afternoon. 10 afternoon. Huh? Eh. Honestly, I don't know how I didn't know about it before these streams. The D&D character? Hmm. I mean, to be fair, these D&D characters, I was playing that D&D campaign a while ago, so they're all like unlisted videos on the channel. Some of them are listed, but not. Oh, come on. Let's just go to my channel. Some of them are actually public videos, but oh hey, look, that's that. Most of them are like really old and buried. Like if you go to the Paladin's D, no, that's not even correct, because this is just the animations that were supposed to be recaps of it, and those I never really did more. I wanted to do more, but I never did. So yeah, you have to search for a while to find even some bits of it. But if you go to my playlists, playlists, you should be able to find D&D past stuff. This is a specific campaign, so it's not that one or that one. Where is it? Paladins D&D. That is one. This is the full, like, all the D&D I've ever played, basically. But yeah, let's do the Paladins D&D one. So if you want more content, this is like when these characters were invented. We did like 30 sessions or so of playing this. And this is where the characters came from. I don't know why. I forgot entirely why I'm even on this topic. But yeah, it was a while ago. As you can see, I think the latest or like we stopped this campaign back in like 2019, I think, just because people were flaky so much, so we had to like stop the campaign. Then we restarted it and tried to get back to it for a bit in like 2020, and then it fell off again, and now we're in 2023, and I wanna finish it, but we can't. So we'll get to it eventually. But yeah, that's
So
probably
I'm
why you
here.
don't know about these characters and they have not been seen much before. But people who were watching the streams, like Joycey, were making fan art at the time. So that's where these lovely art pieces came from, and I love them, and I'm happy about their existence. It makes me happy. Uh, anyway, once again, I'm happy to be sharing this with you guys. Let's begin. Hi, sis. Welcome.
Hello. Just
I've
chugging
lost my
medicine.
mind. EJ Monkey is Optimus Prime married?
What?
I'm married to Remy. I'll have you know. Excuse you very much. Where's Silver so she could do the voices? She's at
She's
sushi.
going to die if she doesn't eat sushi.
If I step on a piece of cereal, does that make me a serial killer? I like to.
What the heck
I
did you
like
just
what you
say?
have done there. Yes, good
I'm
stuff.
laughing.
Okay, I should live better. Over the next few hours, the army of the magistrate escorted Malthus, Saphira, and all the other citizens back through the forest towards the ruined city. The journey was agonizing for Saphira's exhausted body, and the terrain was rough, even despite the trail the magistrate had blazed through the underbrush while on their way. But what made the walk even worse was that Saphira was escorted with extra guards as a result of Storm's comments on the danger she presented. The guards would not let her walk with her family, or even see Malthus, whom they were carrying elsewhere on a stretcher. She had done her best to intimidate the guards sent to separate she had done her best to intimidate the guards set to separate them, but unfortunately at the moment she lacked the strength to back up her threats and snarls. The only solace during the journey was that the rain finally stopped and the clouds began to disperse. Everything and everyone was still soaked and freezing, but at least that included the magistrate. At last, the tall walls of the city faded into view as the sky was beginning to brighten, hinting that daylight would soon peek out from around the shattered moon. Saphira nearly sighed in relief, expecting their journey to end once they reached the magistrate refugee camp outside the north side of the city. Instead, the magistrate led the procession back into the city and continued along one of the main streets towards the center of town, where the magistrate tower still loomed menacingly, keeping watch over the smoldering debris and corpses of a once thriving city. Where were the magistrate taking these people? Would the magistrate camps not be enough suffering? Saphira dragged her tired feet onward, one step after another, as one of the magistrate's cavalry suddenly split off from the group and stopped in front of a stone wall in a small alley. Saphira stopped and turned curiously to watch him, only to have one of her guards rudely shove her forward once again. But that did not stop Saphira from hearing the unmistakable sound of a large stone sliding across the stone floor. She craned her neck for a view of the alley, but it was too late. The group had walked too far. Saphira growled in tired frustration as she continued looking back, catching a glimpse of two soldiers carrying Malthus' stretcher into the alley as well, accompanied by several soldiers and other horsemen. But the main group continued on, drawing nearer and nearer to the large central tower. At last they reached the tower courtyard, which was surrounded by a 20-foot stone wall and a set of large bronze doors. The doors opened to accommodate the sea of tired prisoners and soldiers, most of which just wanted to rest. The courtyard held a few stone braziers with different colored flames, and the entire clearing was paved with stone, leaving no shred of greenery visible within the oppressive prison-like walls. Still, the magistrate led on towards the tower in the center of the courtyard. Saphira and the other unfortunate prisoners were escorted through a giant set of doors for the tower, this time 30 feet high and made of what seemed to be solid iron. As they crossed the threshold, the air became stale and cold, and all scents of the smoky battlefield were replaced by clean, almost alchemical smells, and the promise of daylight was swallowed by darkness and torchlight as the great door shut behind them. The room they had entered was a huge cylinder with a hollow spire ascending through the middle of the tower, flanked by stone rooms supported by a long, spiraling corkscrew of stone that circled along the outer wall of the tower. Walkways crisscrossed the central shaft, connecting different floors of the spiraling platforms. Hogwarts vibes. A strange purple glow emanated from a room far above, and metal pipes lined the walls of the tower with rigid precision, transporting unknown materials elsewhere in the impressive complex. But, most terrifying of all, the spiraling platform and rooms did not stop at ground level, where Saphira and the other citizens stood in some kind of hangar. The hollow hole in the center extended downwards into the earth as well. Saphira took a hesitant step toward the gaping abyss, looking down into the dark
And
chambers
she
below.
died.
Oh no! Where scaffolding and pipes haphazardly connected still more spiraling rooms in the deep in the deep below the city. Foul noises of grinding metal and unknown creatures echoed up from the depths. Magistrate workers with black skull-like beaker insignias on their uniforms
What
march,
is a beaker insignia?
I guess, like a.
Are they scientists?
I guess so.
Wait, actually that kind of beaker?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, magistrate doing some sketchy research.
Boy.
They're just like, they're like, hey, we're proud that we're doing unethical scientific research. Let's just put a skull on our beaker and,
Oh
make that our
boy.
symbol. Just to, say, hey, heck you, Geneva Convention. uh, march back and forth across the hive-like facility, carrying potions, crystals, books, and machine parts. Somehow, some way, this had gotten worse than the refugee camps. Saphira's cell was strangely comfortable, containing a bed with a proper blanket, a sink with running water, and a stone toilet that emptied into some kind of piping system. The floor, walls, and ceiling of this windowless room were metal, but with a noticeable cobblestone pattern showing through, as though there was merely a metal coating on a primarily stone cell. There were no bars on this cell, the entrance instead replaced with a solid door made of the same shiny metal that Saphira did not recognize, but discovered to be very rigid and unyielding. She got the impression that this was the type of cell engineered to hold something a lot more powerful than a dragonborn. Saphira looked around for anything of interest, discovering a strange smell coming from under the door, a faint sound of bubbling from the hall outside her cell, and a strange glowing section of the metal ceiling that provided magical light to the cell but could not be affected. The magistrate had taken her daggers, the bracelet Malthus had given her, and pretty much everything she owned except her belt and still soaked clothing. Defeated, exhausted, and miserable, Saphira had little she could do. She tried her best to wring out her clothing to make it less soggy, and debated whether to put. She, my brain. I'm sorry. She tried her best to wring out the clothing to make it less soggy, and debated whether to put back on the damp clothes in case someone came in, or to simply wrap herself in the dry blanket to warm up for a bit. Upon further consideration, the mere thought of remaining cold and wet any longer felt like torture, so she put aside her paranoid thoughts and decided to curl up in the blanket for some much-needed rest. I
Hi,
didn't take a breath.
cactus.
Hello! Okay, chat break for a second. I swore if they don't kiss in the last chapter, I will die!
I swore.
I swore as well. I want to swore! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Praying for you guys. Aw. Praying for us? Why? Who? Oh, Sam. Sam was just fired from their job. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. Isabel says, this
I
chapter
can't
made me
tell.
cry. Oh.
I can't tell if he's being serious or if this is a setup for some sort of joke. I don't know.
Hi,
I would
sorry.
feel bad if it was, but it
Cactus
just
says,
gives those
hi,
vibes.
sorry. He's
He, he,
Cactivus.
he says, I was working at a calendar factory. They told me I took too many days off. Haha. See? I knew it was gonna be a joke.
Suddenly does the Pennywise dance.
Oh
I'm so sorry. On
no.
the one hand, I'm sorry this chapter made you cry. On the other hand, I'm glad this made you cry because that means
I'm
I'm doing
interested to
something
see
right.
what part made her cry.
I don't fully remember all the parts of this story, honestly. It was a couple years ago that I wrote this, and I haven't looked at it since. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see as well. Let's see. Is there anything else that we missed? This is the second job I got fired from this year.
Oh boy, what was the first?
Sorry I wasn't in chat for a bit. There was a crazy semi on the road while we were driving back. Oh boy, be careful. I hope you're not the one driving. Don't be texting or watching stream and typing in stream while driving.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway, sis, would you like to take a chunk or should I continue
Oh,
the
where
chunking?
are we?
The chunking. Chunk yourself.
Chunk
Do you have a
yourself.
hand? You do? Okay, good. Now do this. I can't see you. There's only a microphone. Uh-huh.
Bucky is rolling down the river. Sorry. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean the stairs, not the river. That's only chunky.
What?
Okay. After what felt like minutes, but was probably hours, Saphira was startled awake by a loud clanging sound. She was still rather tired, but she jumped, groggily clutching the blanket to her chest as she watched the cell door slam open and... Sorry. I started thinking about if dragons have anything to cover or not.
What?
She clutched the blanket to her chest, so I was wondering if female dragons even had anything to cover.
You almost made me shoot water out my nose.
I'm sorry.
I
It's
mean,
a genuine question. I didn't know.
from a logical scientific perspective, you have a valid query. I'm just going based off the art. That is purely the I'm going based off the art. I mean,
What does the art look like?
Okay, there's no there's no NSFW art. Please do not make any. Um, I
Oh
I don't
no.
know. I'm just treating it as though they're people but scaly. You know what I mean? I don't
Okay.
know. That's the extent of the thought that has gone into it, and I don't think I want. I don't know what the. That's the end of this conversation. Moving on.
Okay. She jumped, groggily clutching the blanket to her chest as she watched the cell door slam open and Malthus get unceremoniously tossed in headfirst.
Bruh, he's
Literally.
injured. Why are you freaking jerks?
Oh yeah. He landed on his face, sliding to a pitiful stop on his
Oh,
stomach,
so
with his tail
cartoonish.
drooping behind him,
That's
and he lay
great.
unmoving, eyes closed. Was he even breathing?
It's like Flynn
Hey!
Rider.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Hey! Saphira yelled at the guards as they turned to go, dusting off their hands. They turned to face her as she stood from the bed, blanket still wrapped around her. I thought you said you were going to take care of him, she cried indignantly, kneeling
Take
beside
care of him.
Matthias and trying to flip
Sorry.
him over so she could see his wounded face. He was heavy, so it took a bit of effort, but she managed. Oh, you want to be a guard?
Where am I? I'm sorry. I'm, where, where? Oh, okay, found it. I found it. There is not a new enter key there. Flaw, flaw.
A flaw.
Sorry, I'm so beyond. I'm so beyond spent. Yeah, we took care of him, all right. The guards chuckled, leering at their efforts and makeshift. Wait, what? Leering at her efforts and makeshift coverings. She snarled and turned her back to them, putting a hand on Malthus's clammy neck. He was shivering slightly and
Oh,
felt
ho,
cold, but he had a
ho.
pull. What?
Sorry, I like that he's clammy and shivering.
Yay, close to death. Woo, loss
Yay!
of blood. Okay.
My favorite!
No, no! He was shivering slightly and felt cold, but he had a pulse. He was very pale, his golden scales looking dull and faded as his chest rose and fell weakly. He was still in soaking wet clothes and hypothermia, loss of blood, and internal organ damage. McKay's like, yeah, lay it on me.
Give me the wump.
McKay, define warmth for those who don't know in the audience.
Everyone, okay, if you guys
I
don't know
didn't know
wump,
until you told
then
me.
you're a problem. But wump is when like
What?
characters get
You're
super
not a problem.
injured or super sick or super traumatized, just like anything really bad happening to them that puts them in a really vulnerable, painful state, and then they're just like they can't even take care of themselves, and somebody else has to, and you get like the nice caretaker thing where somebody else is being like super gentle with them and like taking care of them, especially if this character is like someone who doesn't show weakness a lot, and then all of a sudden they're just like shivering on the ground and dying. Oh, it's so good.
Mm.
Yes. Anyway.
Uh, let's see. He was still in soaking wet clothes and his messed up armor, both of which were freezing to the touch, and his wound was the worst of all. His hand was still pushed over it, holding a small towel that may have been blue at one point, but was now soaked all the way through with red. He seemed almost dead, but he was alive.
You morons didn't help him at all! She whirled on the guards. Get him a proper
Forgot
bandage, a
she's
health
British
potion,
now.
and some dry clothes. Hurry!
Whoa, Dragon Lady, calm down, one of them grinned. Sorry we ain't got nothing for him. Trust me, we looked. He lowered his head in mock sorrow.
Don't you lie to me! I know you have potions! She gestured out of her cell to the door across the hall, which had a slight vapor billowing from within.
Oh, well, of course we have potions, but we can't spare any for a dying criminal when we have so many wounded soldiers in need, the other guard sneered. At this, Saphira swore. Not gonna tell you what swore.
Ship high in transit.
Ah! Saphira swore and stood to pounce on him, but was stopped by a weak word from Malthus. Saphira? He mumbled. Saphira quickly dropped back to his side, holding her blanket around her with one hand and squeezing Malthus's free hand with her other. Cute!
Oh, this is cute. Hey, big guy. You're gonna pull through for me, right? She asked, struggling for what to say.
I have
He
liver
slowly
damage!
opened-
Sorry.
He slowly opened his eyes and met her gaze.
Hey, he smiled at her weakly. No promises. Ow. He winced, seeming to almost vomit because of the pain,
Oh
but he
no.
held it back, closing his eyes once again.
Look at him! He needs help! Saphira pleaded with the guards again. Help that I can't give him. Please spare a doctor or something!
Look, lady, this is a war zone. We gotta tend to our own men first. You shouldn't have gotten shot if you didn't want to deal with the consequences, one of the soldiers
Wow.
replied, starting to shut the cell door.
Wait! Please! My brother Avnir! He brews potion. Please bring him here. Or let me have his bag. I'm begging you.
Oh, you're what accent is this supposed to have? Oh,
I
you're
don't know.
begging now, are ya? One of the guards raised an eyebrow with a twisted grin. Well, that's something you could offer us in exchange to make it worth our while. Sophia
A
stared.
electric kiss.
Ooh. Would you like to be shocked? I can make sure your heart stops.
Wait, that would imagine she seduces them, but then she kisses them and just like shocks them into oblivion.
Heck no. Sophia stared daggers at him for a tense moment before having a thought. She pointed at Malthus's chainmail armor, which was still pulled up above his stomach.
How about a set of chainmail armor with a bit of minor damage?
Ha.
Even if it doesn't fit you, I bet you could sell it for a good 5 cracks,
No.
Saphira offered. The soldiers seemed taken aback by the offer.
Wasn't quite what I had in mind. This brings concerning implications to mind.
It does, yes. Plus, we can
He
we can
wants to
take it off.
know the science. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Anyway.
It's scientific research. That's why I've got the beaker with the skull.
Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, wait, that's the other guard talking, not me.
What? Who am I? What's happening? I'm
There's
alive.
another guard.
I am alive, I say.
I think you're alive.
I have no brain cells.
Wait,
Plus we can't. Plus we can take it off his corpse when he dies anyway. The other interjected cruelly, letting out a hearty laugh. Oh! That did it. These guys were going down. Sophia
in
calmly stood
earlier man.
and walked over to her soggy clothing, grabbing her belt.
Then perhaps this? Fine leather and all that? She clipped it around herself
She's
to
gonna like
hold
whip
her
him in the
blanket
face.
to hold her blanket in place as she picked up her wet shirt and pants. Or perhaps these. I can't tell you how much these cost. The soldiers exchanged a confused look as she stepped back towards them.
Listen, lady, we don't want your. He was cut off as Saphira whipped him in the face with her soggy pants and hurled her shoot like a
Oh!
net at the other man's head. Both attacks connected with a satisfying slap noise. I can imagine it. And the one who had been whipped cried out in surprise while the other stumbled backward blindly. Saphira took this moment to dash across the small hallway and wrench open the door that seemed to be the source of the bubbling sounds. Sure enough, as the wall of steam hit her, she was greeted by the sights and sounds of a complicated potion laboratory, complete with cauldrons and beakers, various ingredients along the walls, and a precious few potions in a rack that seemed to be the finished products. And a few potions in a rack that seemed to be finished. I'm sorry, I don't know why that confused me. To be finished products. With only an instant to take it all in, Sphere grabbed the two most dangerous looking objects she could see, a vial with a skull and crossbones on it, and a crystal powered
boy.
torch that had been heating a chemical mixture. Oi, get out of there! One guard roared, bursting through the doorway with his sword drawn. Saphira wasted no time in chucking the vial straight at him. It shattered on the bridge of his nose, covering his face with a green, noxious liquid that immediately began to sizzle and smoke, creating a terrible smell as his face began to bubble and melt. Ugh! He screamed in
No!
agony, falling to the floor and clutching at his eyes, which only got the horrifying substance on his hands as well, causing them to begin dissolving as well. It's liquid juice. No.
It is Indiana Jones.
It is the forbidden sploosh. Saphira quickly looked around the room for another weapon as the second guard peeked through the doorway much more hesitantly.
Jade says, "Bro, my headphone just died and it said power off in this British accent. My soul left my body."
Oh no! I inherited McKay's old earpod things, and they do the same thing, but in like Chinese accent.
Yeah, it's like some sort of Asian
Power
accent.
off.
Yeah, because they're like off-brand AirPods, so like I guess they have an Asian accent. I don't know why.
They're like ERROR pods.
Error pods.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I don't think anything else really happened in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, we did not notice that season 5 dropped early. Whoops. Neither of
I
us even
saw
have
people
Netflix
talk
or
about it on my Discord, but I haven't watched it.
Well, I guess we know what we gotta do at some point, sis. Unless you just want to ignore it for a year and a half and do it someday. We'll just do it when the next season comes out, then it'll still be trending. No, that's a bad idea though, because then by the time we actually get the videos edited and posted, it won't survive
True.
the yeah, whatever.
We'll do it at some point, probably.
Yep. If we
Um,
feel like it. You can't make us.
I wish I could just get through all the footage we already had. Which I don't have that much left. It just depends on like how much good stuff is actually in each recording. I don't know. We'll see.
How much footage do you
Um,
have left?
I have. Let me see. Where's my
I'm just
list?
curious because we've lost Rumi for now. He's died.
Um, yeah,
He
Shroomy
got
died,
shot.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have Pirates of the Caribbean. Wait, that one's like really close to being
Bum
done, so that
bum
one can be
ba-da-dum,
posted
bum
soon.
ba-da-dum, bum
Um,
ba-da-dum.
so there's Ports, there's Incredibles, there's Indiana Jones, the Massive Disappointment, there's Shrek, and then there's the two Black Adam and Everything Everywhere All at Once that would have like 2 minutes of footage each.
Ah, yes. Good times.
So yeah, we just have Incredibles, Indiana Jones, and Shrek really that are like ones that will be longer
Mm-hmm.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too
Samurai
bad.
says, I say, yeah, don't sass it since the channel is a PG-13 channel and TDP is like a kid show-ish. Alright. I mean,
Well,
I don't
I
care.
don't know,
It just
maybe.
feels, it just feels a little, like, weird to do 4 seasons of a show and then, like, not do the other two. It's a
Yeah.
little strange. We're, like, more than halfway through already.
Sam said, would y'all ever sass Harry Potter? I think it would be fun to show it to Shroomy because he's
Yes,
literally never seen it. But I don't know
absolutely.
if
I
he's
wanted to
open
show
to it because
Shirley.
he
Yeah,
seems to hate everything.
he
Oh,
really
hello, Silver.
he does
Hello.
like hardcore judge. He's like, "Ooh, Star Wars couldn't be me." And I'm like, "Bruh, you're always talking about these things from your generation, which are so much better. This is before even you. Everyone knows Star Wars.
True,
Why are you
true.
so like judging Star Wars? I mean, obviously the new stuff's terrible, but just watch the originals." And he's like, "Nah, I'm good." For some reason, he just doesn't have interest in Harry
I
Potter or
don't
Star
know
Wars, or
why.
I don't know. He
We can
beats to
see if
the
we can
drum of his
persuade him to
own
do Harry
march.
Potter. I think that'd be fun, but
I didn't
we'll
mean to
see.
do that. I'm so sorry. I had
What did
another.
you say?
I said he beats to the march of his drum own, or I don't know what I said. I mixed it up completely.
If you do, please don't show the
Yucca, you know?
uh, show in Deathly Hallows
Oh,
1.
oh, I know what he's talking about. It's the science. I don't know.
I think I know what is the Horcrux part with the
Yes,
thing.
the science.
Okay, that's not that bad, but sure.
I
Hi,
mean,
Silver.
I
We're talking
don't
about.
like it. I
Okay, well, you're
mean,
allowed to not like
yeah, I
it.
mean, it's very close to showing things that should not be
Well,
shown.
I'm a woman, so I don't care about the science. I have the science.
No, you don't. You have your
What?
own. The science. You can't know the science of a fictional race. I mean, species.
We are the science.
Hello, Silver. You have no idea what's happening to
Hello.
you. I'm sorry, we did
No,
not.
I don't. This is
We're
that time.
definitely not discussing the
We're
anatomy
talking
of
about smooth
Dragonborn.
or not. I don't know. I
Oh!
guess at this point, because you know, I don't. I remember. I'm gonna pour water on my face now.
Oh, okay.
Do it, you won't. Do it, you won't.
I just did by accident. It kind of splattered just because physics.
Silver, did you eat enough
Yes.
sushi to prevent you from dying?
Actually, I was full, so I don't know why I went.
Why
So
did
it
you
was
eat
kind of a waste
sushi
of
when you
money.
were already full? You're going to die if you
Because
do eat sushi.
because I didn't want to be home alone like I've been all weekend, so it's just like, yo, bro, let's go get some sushi, and then I
No
ate
fart
like
jokes this time, thank goodness.
I ate like 6 California rolls, and then that was like, they're like the little sushi bits, and meh.
I don't think I've ever like tried
Welcome back,
actual
Jake.
sushi.
Actual like,
Actually,
what do you mean? Like, what makes sushi actual sushi?
I
I'm
might have had
confused.
one like store-bought
when it's
piece that
floating in
like
midair
wasn't
and you
very
can jump
good,
around and grab it.
but I don't remember really. Um.
mm, mm.
Okay, what were we doing? Oh, we were.
Yeah,
Oh,
obviously.
Silver, for your
got it out of
information, we are
physics.
on chapter
Okay.
10, like 2/3 of the way down.
Yeah, I mean, pretty
Oh
much,
boy.
pretty much what you missed, Silver, if you wanted to catch up, is Malthus
Malthy's
got
got
shot.
yeeted into
Um,
Saphira's cell onto his face. And
Oh,
they
Saphira's
just
no.
did not care. They like the entire time they were like dragging him back to the city. They did not even try to like wrap anything around it to stop the bleeding. They're just like, let him bleed out. He's fine.
And I
Oh,
was liking
no.
the one he was getting wumped because he was like shivering
That's
and
the sound he
like
made when he hit the
he's all
floor.
clammy, and I was like,
Aw.
so now she threw her pants into the face of a guard so she could escape and get like a potion to help heal Malthus, and she threw a potion at this dude's face, and now his face is melting. So she's fighting the guards so that she can get Malthus some healing because he's like dying over there.
He needs some milk.
He does need some milk.
Chapter
10.
Let him cannot
10.
be had.
Okay. And then I can see on stream where EJ left off, and then that'll be okay.
Yep, we're at
We are
come
at-
at me, and then
Come at me. This is what you wanted, right? A little excitement. Saphira jeered, stepping forward aggressively with her cooking flame as she grabbed another random ingredient bottle
she's
off the
got a
wall,
blowtorch.
preparing to hurl it at him. The man yelped and ducked back into the hall, clearly terrified by what she was capable of.
She melted a
Sophia
man's
took
face.
Saphira took this moment to check what she had grabbed and to look around a little more carefully. Spider eyes, gross.
Ew.
She set down the jar and proceeded to examine the potions that were complete. One was orange.
Bro, is this
and was-
Minecraft?
I was thinking the
Yeah.
same thing. Fermented spider eyes.
One was
Is the
orange and
potion
was
of
labeled with
weakness?
the picture of the dragon.
Vessel with a
Another
pestle.
dra-
A flagon with a dragon.
Another was red and depicted a very small man.
Small
A third
man.
was gray and showed a cloud. Wow. A fourth was pink and had a heart symbol, which Saphira was quick to avoid.
Oh.
And finally there was
She
a
had
green
the
potion that had a
option.
symbol
She had the
of
option.
ocean waves upon it. Saphira grabbed the red one with the picture of a small man and peeked out of the door frame, ready to throw it. She makes him tiny. The soldier outside the door seemed to be conflicted, like he couldn't decide whether to charge in or run for help like a coward. His loss. Saphira threw the potion at him as hard as she could, but only managed to hit the ground as he turned and fled. Bottle shattered into
Shattled.
1,000 glass shards on the floor and leaked the strange red liquid down into the cracks of the stone floor. And for a moment, there was silence. Saphira knew she didn't have long before hundreds of guards came pouring down to deal with her insurrection. Perhaps she could have found Avnir's cell if she had bought herself a little more time. She definitely had no time to research potion making on her own. Saphira desperately scoured the room for anything that looked like a common health potion. Sadly, this room seemed to be far more exotic research, and there was nothing to be found. Saphira hesitantly picked up the potion marked with a dragon, scrunching her nose up and wondering if it was a terrible idea to just feed him an unknown potion and hope for the best.
Fun
I mean, he's
fact.
dying anyway, right?
Yeah. I was
Too late now.
I was in like total DM mode when I was writing this whole thing, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh man, all these different things, they all have things. I wonder what she'll decide to do, not knowing what she does. Since she ended up choosing this, but like things could have gone very differently if she had chosen like one of these other bottles, and yeah.
Mm.
But oh well. No, my chaos was not met by the choices of the character.
She shook her head, putting down the potion. Awful idea. Very bad idea. In fact, the whole busting out idea was probably not the way to go to begin with. But what was she supposed to do? Just let Malthus die? And now she's probably going to get executed for causing trouble, rendering his sacrifice completely worthless.
Oh.
She put a hand on his
We're
forehead.
dead.
She put a hand on his forehead, her forehead, in stress, unsure how she could possibly get them out of this mess. She could sneak away to hide and free Malthus later? But what if he died while she was gone, sad and alone? She roared in frustration and grabbed the dragon potion again, dragging her feet indecisively as she picked up her shirt and pants from the corridor floor. She's wearing a blanket right now, she's not just naked, Silver.
Oh, okay, good to know.
You can hear footsteps and voices approaching from the distance. Well, at least if they died, they would die together. Oh, cute!
Oh.
Saphira sighed and
This
walked
is
back to
end in
herself.
fire.
Tossing her clothing into a pile in the corner and dragging Malthus by his arms to the other side of the room, away from the door. He grunted, only semi-conscious, as she leaned him on her laps. They both faced the door. She popped the cork out of the potion bottle and held it above Malthus's mouth, waiting as she glared at the door. It only took a few moments for the magistrate guards to arrive, carefully checking on the corpse in the potion room as well as peering into Malthus and Saphira's open cell. The guards seemed confused upon seeing Saphira in the back of the cell, poised to pour a potion into Malthus's mouth. Nobody come closer, I'll make him drink this! Saphira threatened loudly as the first guard took a step into the cell. The guard stopped, fearful for a moment.
Well, what's it do? The guard asked. Saphira laughed like Saphira laughed like a madwoman for a moment, then turned icy serious again in her reply.
Imagine your worst nightmare and then multiply it by 10. That is what you unleash unless you give me
And
what I
multiply
want.
it by 6!
Then the square root of 12 shall be added upon it thrice. Sorry,
no.
gonna make them do calculus.
Just confuse them so much with math that you escape.
They're just like,
She won.
she's full of a lot of talk, but I have no idea what she's saying. I feel like she's making this up.
The guard took a step back, eyes wide in fear. Then he thought for a moment and narrowed his eyes.
What exactly do you want? He questioned, still looking suspicious.
I just want a health potion from my friend here. That's it, Saphira bargained. Go, tell your superiors. The guards
I
muttered
am
amongst themselves for a
superior.
moment. I want to speak to the manager. Choosing to leave 8 soldiers outside in the hall as they shut the cell door, leaving Malthus and Saphira alone again for a moment. Saphira heaved a sigh of relief and put down the potion, and then put both of her hands on Malthus's hand, which was still weakly pressed on his grave injury. He wasn't bleeding so much anymore.
He ran out of
probably
blood. Oh no.
Probably because he lost all the blood he could lose. But he certainly
He's
did not
just a
look good.
husk now.
Oh no, the vampires got to him.
No! Malthus took a ragged breath, struggling a bit because Saphira's knee was in his back. She laid him down more comfortably until showtime arrived once again. You still awake? She whispered sullenly. He did not open his eyes, but his lips moved slowly, trying to craft a reply.
Moo. Oh, you said something. Sorry, I shouldn't have mooed. Barely. Sorry, I don't have the energy for a
I don't think
lighthearted
he's
joke.
awake
He
anymore.
moans.
It's okay. Just stay with me, she soothed.
My blood.
His blood did not stay with him.
No. What happened just now? He opened his eyes partially and rolled his head to the side, seeing her face in the potion bottle.
Poison bottle! She's gonna
Sorry.
kill him!
I didn't give any
twist.
spoilers.
It's enemies to lovers to enemies?
Oh no!
Well, actually, that'd be enemies to friends to enemies to lovers.
Huh?
True.
More like to dead. Poison kind of,
Romeo and Juliet.
He is already on death's door. This would just kind of, like, catapult him over the edge at Mach 12.
It's not important. It could have gone many better ways,
Ooh,
but it's all
DM.
going to work out in the end, she promised.
And the DM inserts some commentary. What's that do? He nodded to the potion bottle. Saphira just took her finger and put it to her lips. Okay then. I'm just glad you're okay, he mumbled, closing his eyes again. She smiled down at him sadly.
For now, at least.
Hmm.
Nothing. It's fine.
That not sound fine. Mm.
Dyslexia?
That sound not fine. Not fine.
It's just EJ normally.
Sound and benign. Fine and sound. Broken. Help. A spot of Oh boy.
Hey.
Oh,
be weird,
sorry,
huh?
Seb. Rip.
Oh, yes. Seb, I read that as I lost
But
the game,
hey,
so I have to
you
say it
won
loud.
the opportunity to stop playing the game that you hate. So, who's the real winner there? EGB, do you need me to teach a class while you sleep? Teach a class?
Remember when he taught drama class and he ate all those inanimate objects?
You're asking a lot of my poor brain right
You're
now.
asking the wrong
My
Andy.
brain is. I have no context.
I
Ooh, thunder.
truly, I remember that he did something crazy, like ate a brick a lot of times or something. I don't remember anything about a drama class being related. I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
with no. I think we're good.
That seems like the safe answer, I think.
I
So
respectfully decline your request or your offer. Thank you anyway.
I won the opportunity to go into the consolation bracket and play a meaningless game with no consequences. Really says a lot about our society.
I
Oh,
tip
Seb.
my bottle of water. Bottle
Yours-
of
water.
my spot of water.
We have one more paragraph. We need to just finish this chapter.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
Stalling.
I know this might be weird. Saphira changed the subject.
Oh, what's
But
she
when
gonna
we were in
say?
that house with Rowan, that was nice. It reminded me of home, of family. even when Rowan and I were both alone, and didn't have a family or a home. She looked at Malthus, remembering how last time she'd seen him this tired, she'd still believed her family was dead. I know you're not quite the same as family, but I'm glad you're here, she
Whoa,
admitted,
that
resting her
is
cheek
a
on his forehead.
that is a huge step. Wow.
There, you see her sitting there across the way.
Does he see her? I feel like he's like
I think he's
comatose.
Malthus did not respond. His breathing had slowed and his jaw had dropped open.
Oh.
He was asleep. Security gave a soft smile and returned her gaze to the door, waiting for doom or glory to come through it. When you say that you don't hate someone and he falls asleep.
Ha 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 ha, he does not know yet, Get wrecked. Or maybe he does, and he's just pretending to be asleep because he doesn't like her back.
Yeah, he didn't know how to respond, so he just fell asleep.
Whoops.
I feel that sometimes with like my parents. I'm like sleeping and my parents walk in, they tell me something and I'm like, and then I just roll over.
Another?
Says,
What do you
the
think?
opposing team have forfeited because they didn't want to play a meaningless game with no consequences, so I get to wait 20 to 40 minutes before playing again. Oh boy.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I mean, you could just also forfeit. Then what happens? Then you both tie, and you both have to continue.
Oh boy.
Imagine if you just force that man to continue. Just to spite him.
Oh no, the next chapter title, I'm concerned.
Wait, what is it?
A useless effort. Oh,
cool. That
guess he
sounds really
dies.
good.
Spoilers.
That sounds reassuring.
There's comments.
He's
Gasp.
so dead.
Where are these comments? Is this from Isabella Pops? I mean England?
What? There is
Or,
comment? Where?
It says there's 3 comments on this.
Potentially.
It
She was reading
is
it.
from Joycey 1 year ago. 2 replies. Oh, this must be when I actually finally posted. Like, I had the rest of the parts basically written, and I just didn't post them because that takes effort. And then I finally
feel
posted
that.
all of them at once. And
Oh, I see.
I got no response to my.
So this
other
is, I
messages.
guess, where I stopped reading last time. Maybe, I don't know, because you hadn't posted in
Possible.
500 years.
It could be that, or maybe you stopped before you even made it through the chapters that existed. I don't know. Either way.
Well, I made it through the ones that existed at whatever point you stopped, but I don't remember the whole, like, potion melting faces and stuff, so I don't know.
I know nothing.
We
So we're
melt your faces off.
fine.
Melt your faces off.
Oh, Elzia's here. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
You have missed Malthus being wumped and
Wump.
dying on a prison floor, and Saphira yeeting potions at people and melting their faces. It was very nice. Anyway.
Get you a woman who will melt a face for you.
Oh.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't think I will.
I don't think I will either.
I think that's a red flag, actually.
I think that might be against the Geneva Convention too. We're just talking about all the war crimes today.
War crimes. War crimes. Clap, clap.
Sounds like a you problem.
Oh no, I missed the wump. Yeah, it's okay. You can go back and rewatch it, or you can, go back a little bit
It
and
wasn't
just
like
play
a
it.
huge
You can,
amount of wump.
you
It
can
was
play it
just
at
like...
2x the speed, and
And
eventually
there will
you'll catch
probably
back up to
there will
life.
probably be more wump because Malthus is still currently dying.
He is
so...
still in the process of dying at this moment. He may,
Yes.
like judging
Does
by
he
the
took a-
description, he sounds like he's like minutes away from death. Honestly,
Yeah, he got shot for Saphira, so that's why he's dying. And she was like,
good boy. Respect.
"Why'd you do that, you dude?" He's like, "'Cause you're stupid
Ooh, I love calling each other stupid.
and you have anger issues. You keep fighting with
Malthus
people."
goes, sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeehaw.
It
So
was like
says,
a bell pepper.
I would love to forfeit, but I'm in a team of 5, and I feel awkward telling everyone I don't want to wait 40
Seb,
minutes.
Seb,
Just not have
consider.
fun.
It's the internet and they're used to it.
Mm.
Consider. Consider
true.
you don't have to face your consequences when you're online.
Mm.
When will you learn?
You could message the enemy team and be like, "Hey, does anyone else want to take my place and like be on the winners team? Because I don't want to be on the winners team. I'll trade you."
Seb, at least you're not playing with the racist old man this time.
Oh,
What? I feel like
He was
there's a
telling me
story
all
here.
his League of Legends stories yesterday.
Wow.
Wait, no, was that really yesterday? Dang, that feels like forever ago.
Better
anyway.
yet, Seb, you could just like put like a little crab on your WASD keys and just let him
Crab.
have a little like crab fun day, and like your character will just kind of walk into a wall, but they
Is
can't
that the
tell that
right
it's a
one?
crab and
I
not
hope
you.
so.
I
I think so. Yes. Oh, I should have done the other one to be funny, but oh well.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think of it in time.
Okay.
See, I don't even. I only know the. I don't know the other one. I don't know which is which. I just know one of them.
Rip. Well, you'll have to catch up someday, Elzia, if you want to. I don't care. You don't care. I don't.
You have free will.
I grant you permission to not read this story if you don't want to. You are allowed.
You're the only person ever who has permission to not read this story.
Only
You're
you. Everyone else is required to by law. I don't know what law. Anyway. I guess I'll pick up.
Do it. I dare you.
Do it, Claudia.
Do it.
When the door finally opened, the commander herself stood in the doorframe with a crystal-powered rifle propped up on her shoulder and a face that implied she was not in the mood to mess around. You did the voice for the elderly general, right? We're not elderly.
Wait,
but,
I think so.
like kind of old. She was. I think you.
Oh
did
yeah,
it,
I remember
Nikkei.
her voice. It was like, "You have exactly 2 seconds
like
to
it.
explain why I shouldn't let Storm rip your arms off. Go." She
Oh.
ordered tiredly. Saphira nodded her head to the potion in her hand, which she had once again poised to pour into Malthus's mouth. I almost said poison again. It is not poison.
Sorry.
What's that supposed to mean? The commander asked impatiently. You think
What's
a
that
potion
supposed
will
to mean?
stop me from shooting you both before he can even swallow? Look, I just want to keep him alive, okay? Saphira admitted. Please get him a healing potion before he dies on you. It'll be hard for him to betray his father if he's dead, right? Saphira gave a pleading look at the commander, who simply clenched her jaw and curled the edge of her lips into a smirk. To tell you the truth, sweetie, I don't even need him alive. I just need to let old Drogos find out where his son is being held, and when he comes to rescue his dear only child, he'll find a trap well prepared for his arrival. That won't work, Saphira contended. Oh, won't it? The commander humored her mockingly. No way. From everything I've heard about Drogo's flame terror, he blasts first and asks questions later. The moment he arrives, your trap will be in flames before you can spring it. He will rip and tear and smash his way through everything and everyone in his way until he gets what he wants, and then leave you in ashes as he escapes your clutches? Clutches. Sorry, I don't know why that's funny. That's what happened every other time you tried to capture him, right? That's why he's been such a thorn in your side. Saphira was grasping at straws, but she could tell it was striking a chord with the commander. The old woman's scowl deepened, and she leaned her head back a bit farther as she considered. So you think I need to fight fire with fire, as it were, she sighed. Malthus did say he could guarantee Drogos' capture, Saphira offered temptingly. Think of the fame, the promotions! Why, I almost said the Grandmaster. The Grand Magister himself might be impressed with your achievement. That's enough flattery, thank you. I already have all of those things.
Oof.
What's wrong with that loathsome beast's head mounted on my wall? The commander growled.
I'm getting
Then
vibes
please,
from
healing-
the villain from like Madagascar 3.
I don't
With that
remember who
voice.
that is.
Here, I'll pull up a
Oh,
picture on the screen. Scream?
Dubois. I think her name's Dubois. I'm a nerd.
It also sounds like a little bit Yzma or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! The second
Elzia,
picture.
Elzia said it sounded like Malfoy. Which I kind of agree. but-
Really? I feel like that's a little like he's not as like raspy and like old sounding. I don't know.
I can hear a hint of it though, so I understand where she's
Maybe it's
coming
like it's
from.
Malthus'
but-
like grandma or something.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, just the way that she like conducts herself is the vibe I'm getting. Like, she moves very like I don't know, like a snake. I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway.
spooky.
Mhm.
Okay, where were we? Then please get a healing potion for the leading expert on the dragon you're after, Saphira concluded, nodding to the sleeping Malthus in her arms. I'm afraid there are no potions available for that. We've used them all on our soldiers that you rebels injured.
How
To go
convenient. Or
to go find my
inconvenient.
brother and give him back his bag of supplies. I'm sure he either has one or can brew one. You expect me to give your brother a bag of dangerous chemicals and let him make you a potion that does who knows what while you're in prison? The commander raised an eyebrow. Just let me heal him, please. You know you need him, Saphira pointed out. Mm-hmm. The commander nodded incredulously. And what's the potion there? Your backup plan? She questioned. Exactly. If you don't heal him, I'll give him the potion, Saphira nodded. The commander seemed puzzled, opening her mouth to speak, and then smiled slightly as she seemed to realize something. All right, go for it. I'll watch, the commander encouraged, lowering her rifle to the ground and leaning against it. The soldiers beside her gave her a look like she was crazy. Come on, go on then. Show me what you'll do if I don't save your man, she
Oh,
taunted as Saphira hesitated. Oh, her man. The commander had called her bluff. There was
hermano,
no
that
way she
means
could give
brother in
Malthus an
Spanish.
unidentified potion like this. What?
I said hermano, that means brother in Spanish.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
There was there was no way she could give Malthus an unidentified potion like this, especially not when she seemed so close to convincing the commander that they would need Malthus alive. Saphira grimaced angrily and lowered the potion away from his open mouth. There you go, the commander smiled, crossing her arms. Lesson 1 in negotiations. Don't make an offer you aren't willing to follow through with. Now hand it over and nobody gets hurt, the commander demanded, holding out her hand.
I totally believe her.
Yep, I really do.
Who?
I believe her every word.
The commander, I really believe that nobody's gonna get hurt if she hands it over.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Don't make an offer you aren't willing to go through with, you hypocrite.
Saphira looked down at the bottle, then back up to the commander. What's the worst that could happen? Saphira quickly lifted the bottle to her own lips and drank
Wait,
half
what?
of the horrible,
I forgot
horribly
about this.
chunky, gooey mixture inside.
Oh,
Ew.
that sounds horrible. I think it's expired.
Ooh.
Oh. The commander's expression
Expired
turned
fun
from
dip.
bemused confidence to deadly seriousness as she quickly stopped, leaning on her gun and backed up out of the door. Saphira gagged, immediately regretting this second horrifying cocktail she'd put
Plot
into her
twist,
empty
she
stomach
drank
in the past
suspicious
24 hours.
stew instead.
Oh no! Oh no!
Which potion effect is she gonna get? We'll see.
Blindness!
It
Oh no!
Oh no!
It tasted like pureed slugs, which
Oh
was
no! Why
oddly
does she,
acidic
why
as it
does
went
she
down.
know what that smells? Why does she know what that tastes like?
I don't know. The commander
She's had
watched
a rough
intently from the
childhood.
hall as the potion began to take effect. Saphira's skin suddenly began to tighten as though her muscles were expanding from within. Oh, Hulk time. She
Oh
groaned,
no!
suddenly noticing that the room was shrinking in around her, or rather, she was getting larger.
Oh no!
A sharp
Whoa!
pain stabbed her in the back, and she experienced the indescribable sensation of suddenly having 2 new appendages that she was able to control. Oh my
Science!
This potion's intense!
Science!
goodness. No, EJ! Saphira cried out in discomfort and surprise, turning to view the large shapes that had sprouted from her back. They were large blue wings. Dragon wings. Saphira looked down at her hands, which had become
llama!
more paw-like, and her body had become quadrupedal. Whoa, that was hard. Suddenly making her humanoid sitting posture very uncomfortable. Saphira yelped in surprise as her growth finally came to a stop, her head now touching the ceiling of the room, but her voice came out deeper and more animalistic, like a rumbling roar. She felt stronger, smarter, more energized, and dangerously powerful. Saphira took a moment to take it all in, gazing down at herself as she flexed her new wings in the small space. She had become a full-on, honest-to-goodness young adult blue dragon. Okay, I'm
Had
gonna
to
look
put
at the
the
chat for a
full
sec.
the full title for the D&D nerds. Wanted to know the stats.
Okay, let's see. Is he saying that your voice is cute, Silver?
Thank you, Izzy.
Samwise says, if I throw a kitty out a car window, is that murder or kitty litter? Ha ha ha, please don't do that.
Oh my gosh. Animal
Swagger says, do
cruelty.
these characters have last names?
Unfortunately. As you can tell,
Unfortunately.
Drogo's Flame Terror, that's just a uncreative last name for...
Flame terror.
I don't know when or
Did you
where
make that, or was it actually in the game?
I think I made it up, or someone made it up. I might have even made it up as a placeholder, honestly. I don't remember when it came from, whether it was the D&D campaign or in the story. one way or another, ew. But yeah, whatever.
You
So
Yeah.
say you
this is
say
this is
you
why
say
Malthus
every
does
name is a
not mention his last
placeholder.
name, especially
You say
considering.
every name is a placeholder, so I don't believe you anymore.
No, I don't.
Hey,
I say
you
everything's a
didn't
rough
just put in
draft.
your last name like I did.
What'd you say, McKay?
True.
At least you didn't just straight up put insert last name here like I
That
did for
I
that
mean,
first
honestly,
draft.
that would have been better because that would have forced me to make a better name eventually. Whereas this, I just kind of made it up and left it, I guess. Maybe I left it
Game terror.
because I made it up in like an earlier chapter, and then I was like, well, now I gotta be consistent. It's already posted. I don't know. Can't remember. Either way, it's kind of dumb. So apparently Malthus's last name is like Flame Terror or something. But I am sure since he hates his father so much and does not stand for all the terrorism or whatever, he probably like legally changed it to something else. We just
You
don't know
legally
what it
have to
is.
tell him.
You legally have to tell. So I mean, what do you guys want to make up his last name as? Maybe he's changed his name to something, or maybe he'll changed it to something based on like what he wants to represent or will represent, or maybe just he takes Saphir's last name instead just because he prefers that. I don't know.
What's her last
What
name?
I don't know. I haven't made it up yet. There hasn't been a reason to bring it up, so who cares?
I think
What's her last name?
Fire.
Your
So she
mom.
could be Fire, like in Avatar.
Sapphire Fire. Ah, that's such a good
Sapphire Fire.
reference, but such a boring last name for a dragon.
I know.
That's like, that's the worst. Like nobody was creative in the slightest about that.
But at the same time, it's extra creative because it was a reference. So really, pick
Oh,
your battle here. Like,
Sam
what are you
was-
going with?
No, we're not gonna name his last name Buffalo, 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 Buffalo,
Oh
Buffalo,
my
Buffalo.
gosh.
What about
His last name
oh,
could
now I'm
be
blanking
Smith.
on the-
It works
what if-
because he's a blacksmith. You're so right. I like that actually.
What if his last name is soup 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 soup?
Oh
Soup 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 soup.
no! Potato salad sandwich or potato salad
To
sandwich
count how many
backwards. What was Gardathia? No, what's Flingodaka? No, what's the Fleeble? The name of the village?
Who are you
Which
talking about?
What are you saying?
Toodle-woodle, that's the name of the village.
Leedle leedle leedle.
I love Toodle-Woodle.
Ah yes, Toodle-woodle, my favorite villager. Anyway,
Yes.
I apologize for that long series of nonsense that just occurred.
I have no idea what just happened.
In the second story that I will write but haven't yet, but I will, maybe I'll reference the last name at some point. But yeah, at this point I just straight up haven't needed to reference Saphira's last name, and I've been avoiding it because I didn't want to have to make up names. Names are hard, and they have to have like good meaning. So I'd prefer for it to not just be a placeholder like fire, although that is a good reference. Stormwind, critical role reference. Interesting. Sub to Shroomy? That is a horrible last name! Imagine plugging your YouTube channel with your last name that you have to write on like tax forms and stuff. It's like bubble in subscribe to my friend's YouTube channel http/. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Okay, back to talking to myself.
Yay, Seb, you're free.
Yay.
Dumb fart monkeys. As a monkey, I take offense to this.
Okay. Alright then, that was your plan, was it? The commander replied, slowly reaching out for the cell door. Or did you not realize that potion would make you too big to fit through the door? She
Oh
laughed.
no! No wonder the chapter's
Saphir.
named for completely useless effort or something.
Yeah. Saphir locked eyes with her and let loose a low growl. The commander's eyes flashed with fear for the first time, and she immediately slammed the cell door. I'll be back in an hour when you're back to normal, she called out from the hall. Then the sounds of footsteps began to retreat from the door. Saphira quickly returned her attention back to Malthus, who was now strangely small compared to her.
Oh,
That
teeny
certainly
boy.
felt strange.
Lol.
Saphira reached for the other half of the potion, only to realize she had knocked over the bottle as she had unexpectedly expanded. Glimmer is expanding.
I was thinking the same thing, I'm sure.
Luckily, the bulbous shape meant that only a little liquid had been lost through the conical neck of the bottle, so there was still plenty left. Saphira wasn't quite sure if this was a good idea, considering she already took up about half the space in this room,
Oh.
but she had no better ideas on how to help Malthus. Perhaps a draconic power-up would do him some good? Certainly felt good. Saphira grasped the potion in her large, slightly clumsier paws and gently brought it to Malthus's mouth. Hey, wake up. Drink this, she urged him, once again
Hey,
surprising herself
listen.
with the rumbling new texture of her voice. Malthus stirred slightly and began to drink, though his eyes remained closed. A moment later, he made a face and stuck out his tongue in disgust. I know, I'm sorry, Saphira sympathized, but it'll help, I hope. She helped him down the rest of the gross liquid, and he began to double over, curling up on the ground in front of her as his body shuddered. She put a paw on his back supportively and then watched as he began to grow at an alarming rate. His chainmail armor and clothing simply folded into his flesh as his limbs bulged and his neck lengthened, and he too sprouted a pair of massive dragon wings, golden brass in color. His body expanded into her space, pushing her to the side as he grew, and one of his wings flopped upwards towards the ceiling where it covered the light source, plunging the room into near darkness. The whole transformation
Yay.
was fascinating, yet terrifying to watch, but it was over in seconds, leaving him as an absolutely gigantic brass dragon curled up beside her.
And with his growth, his wound also grew 10 times.
Oh no! Just a gush of blood. Just constant.
No!
Oh my gosh. Yikes.
He was bigger than her once
28
again.
stab wounds.
Oh!
Sorry.
He was bigger than her once again, taking up the other half of the room and leaving very little free space for either of them to maneuver. Someone else want to read for a second?
Sure, yeah, sorry, you've been tortured by having to talk to yourself for a bit.
Yeah.
General. Blue eyes, yellow dragon! Haha.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
They are beholding the dragon's fury! Name his last name Borgor!
I was
Uh,
making burger!
Malthus Borgor. I don't dig it. Malthus lay there, eyes closed, and face still frozen in discomfort though the scratches Saphira had clawed into his face had disappeared as a result of his metamorphosis. I'm not sure why that in particular. Okay, I guess it's talking about his face, and that's where we just decided to slot that in, sure. Saphira folded her wings behind her and slid away from the wall she had been pressed against. Huh? I'm not
Are
sure.
you good?
My visual image is like failing. Saphira folded her wings behind her and slid away from the wall she had been pressed against. This stood her amidst Malthus's sprawled legs due to the light. Oh no! Don't try to describe it too specifically. I can't. My brain can't right now.
It's like when you said like that thing about legs that I didn't understand what you were talking
Legs?
about. And you sent the gift. Remember when you were like,
Legs.
fuck, you could get some actual therapy instead of just weird leg stuff. And I was like,
Oh.
legs?
Oh,
What are you
no.
talking about? So funny.
There
I
will
was
be
so
no further
confused.
context provided.
Yeah, we're not gonna
That's
give context.
unfortunate.
This stood her amidst Malthus's sprawled legs due to the lack of space forcing them to be so close. She hesitantly put a paw on his shoulder and jostled him slightly. I'm getting, like, Mufasa wake up from Simba vibes.
Oh no!
She hesitantly put a paw on his shoulder and jostled him slightly. I just read that, didn't I? I'm sorry. Malthus's face relaxed to neutral, but he did not move. She tried again, harder this time, but he still seemed unresponsive. Nervously, she tried pushing his chest to roll him over, but he wasn't... Oh, she wasn't used to her new strength. He rolled hard, his wing flopping off the ceiling and once again flooding the room with light, while his back landed on the
She
stone
rips
toilet.
his ribs in return.
Oh!
Payback.
Yikes! While his back landed on the stone toilet, which gave a pitiful crunching sound that was
Oh,
reduced to a
great.
pile of rubble. Malthus murmured slightly as Saphira inspected his right abdomen where the wound had been. Thankfully, this transformation seemed to have closed his wound, although he had probably also been suffering from blood loss, hypothermia, shock, and perhaps infection, but Saphira would have to take what she could get. Hopefully the
Yeah,
wound would
keep
not
the one
return when the
coming.
potion wore off.
Thank goodness, Saphira breathed in relief. She then leaned her long neck
Long-
over to Malthus's
She's
ear
became a
and quietly
dinosaur.
urged him, "Wake up!" Once again, her voice. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wake up.
She's like creepy now. Once again, her voice nearly frightened
Probably
her.
just
It
an
certainly
octave
seemed to
deeper, at least.
Wake up. It certainly seemed to
Warning
startle
voice.
Malthus too, causing him to jump and tense up, raising his
Ah.
paws to defend himself against the giant dragon voice right above his head.
Oh, what happened? What? Malthus cried, suddenly very much awake and on high alert. Saphira smiled.
It's okay, silly.
Oh, I'm
I
silly
read
for
that
freaking out about it. What happened here?
Yes, you're so
I
silly.
read that as sweetie, and I
It's
just
okay,
Oh.
sweetie.
laughed
You just like moved 5 steps while he was unconscious.
Wow. All
She
right
shook her
then.
head
That's
with
how you get a girl.
hard.
Yeah, just almost die, and then
Yeah.
like when you wake up, you're a couple. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you
Yeah.
just die from anything though. Maybe, protecting specifically is more helpful for that.
No,
Ned.
because he's a little delirious, so like he'll believe anything, right? That's how that works.
If you
Totally,
say
yeah.
so.
We're dragons now. No big deal. Calm down.
That
She sat back
is
for a moment,
big
giving him a
deal.
much giving him as much space as she could to let him regain his bearings. He gave her a distrustful look and then looked down at his massive arms and longer tail, moving his wings as they scraped haphazardly on the wall behind him. And he finally checked on his stomach where he had been shot. Finally, he met her gaze again and replied.
I think I fell into a dream. He replied bluntly, startling himself again with his own voice. Oh, is that
Nope.
why he? What? What? Oh, what?
Nope, it was the potion. We're okay. Saphira laughed at him. Well, at least he was okay. Saphira finally began to relax for the first time since Malthus had been shot.
Ah, I see. Malthus replied, clearly trying to put together the pieces of what he had missed as he rolled away from the wall to right himself, laying his belly on the ground. Puppy vibes. Sorry. This caused, or like Sphinx. This caused him to enter her personal space again, but Saphira didn't mind. Saphira then shuffled over towards the wall. Again, mental image shattered. I have no idea what's happening. Giving her what limited space he. What? Malthus then shuffled over towards the wall, giving her what limited space he could as he turned his head to face her. And our clothes? He questioned awkwardly, raising an eyebrow.
We're freaking dragons. We don't need clothes.
We're going. We don't need clothes.
She dismissed him, flicking her tail impatiently against the wall.
Okay, sure. Is this a permanent thing now? He questioned, looking down at his huge paws as he sat like a sphinx.
Kind of cute.
Why am I looking? Oh, I always like predict what I write in the future. It's almost like I'm the same person.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Ah,
It could be if you. Oh, you good?
I got it. I killed a bug. Yes.
Yay!
Yay! So talented.
Yeah.
It could be if you
Here's
wanted to
another
be.
one.
He smiled playfully. He just returned a look of amused concern.
Whoa, Flort? Maybe? I don't know.
What?
I mean, it feels awesome, yeah. But I did also enjoy being able to hold small objects easily and not hit the tops of doorways with my wings. He chuckled in
Big
confusion.
hands.
Well, this is just how things are for now. Saphira shrugged. I suggest we use it.
Use it. He blinked in surprise, prompting her to nod excitedly. I have so many questions. Oh no, I have so many questions. Malthus despaired, shaking his head with a smile.
Look, we still want to free the citizens and get out of here, don't we? Saphira encouraged. What better way to do that than with the firepower of 2 straight-up dragons?
I see what you're saying. Malthus nodded slowly. But as big as we seem in this tiny room, keep in mind that we're not like ancient dragons of old. We're like young adult dragons with a dream at best.
So what? We can still do some major damage or die trying, Saphira
Oh, I
urged.
love
They
dying
won't
trying.
know what hit them.
This is an anime now.
Yes, but which do you think is more reliable for not getting people killed? Bargaining peacefully for their release, or blasting our way out with fire and lightning, fighting our way through countless soldiers to get out of this place, and then still having to fight our way through the entire city to get back to the woods like we were doing in the first place? Malthus asked, causing Saphira to falter for a moment.
They were only humoring your deal because they knew they could double-cross you. What makes you think they'd honor your bargain with all the cards when they hold all the cards? Saphira retorted. The commander was willing to let you die because she thought she could capture Drogos anyway. Trust me, this is our last option left. And these potions won't last long, so we need to move fast, she pleaded. Malthus blinked, considering for a moment, and then sighed.
Fine, I see your point. Malthus grunted, a small plume of fire shooting from his nostrils as he stood, bumping his back into the ceiling as he rose. Get behind me, Satan! Sorry. Get behind me, he instructed, staring down the solid metal door. Saphira grinned and obliged, clearing the way for him to commit excessive violence upon an unsuspecting inanimate object. That tickled me, I'm sorry. Malthus planted his feet. Super bark! Bolt speak! Malthus planted his feet, inhaled heavily, and then heaved forth a sustained blast of white-hot flames from his open jaws. Where'd my place go? Pouring untold amounts of energy into the metal. Even from across the room where she was wedged into the corner, Saphira had to squint as the wave of heat washed over her, and the bright light almost hurt to look at. Even the scales of Malthus's chest and neck were glowing orange from the intense heat beneath. She chuckled, figuring his hypothermia was probably taken care of. After a few seconds, he stopped to take a breath, examining his progress. The door was glowing red hot, but had not melted off its hinges yet. Apparently that wasn't good enough for Malthus, who quickly belched another wave of fire at the door and maintained the onslaught of fury for a solid 15 seconds. This time when he stopped, the door glowed yellow and seemed to be drooping a bit, despite being a giant plate of metal that was several inches thick. Malthus snorted and took a step forward to punch the door into the hall with his giant paw. It effortlessly snapped from its supports and collapsed to the ground outside with a great clang.
Nicely done. Wish you could have been around the last time I tried that on a cell door. Saphira marveled as terrified screams echoed from the hall outside.
Was that terrified enough?
Malthus then reached his paw through the door and hooked his claws in the door frame, pulling hard in attempt to widen the door. His claws dug into the stone outside the door, brutally pulverizing more stones into dust as he ripped the wall apart brick by brick.
Yay.
Saphira curled her tail around herself as she watched, patiently waiting for the savage display to result in an opening big enough to accommodate their larger size. After a few moments, Malthus frowned and seemed to begin applying even more force to his frantic excavation. Then he snarled and slammed his huge, powerful shoulder into the doorframe, pushing with his back feet against the opposite wall as he strained with all his might. The doorframe and metal-coated wall did not seem to budge at all, despite the immense pressure he was doubtlessly generating. Saphira frowned, seeing his struggle. "Need help?" she teased, standing from her cat-like sitting pose and prowling closer,
I predict
nosing her
myself
way
again.
beneath his wing.
Don't know if it'll do much more, Malthus grunted, dragging his claws across the metal floor. They left no mark, nor even a scratch. I think this metal is enchanted. He nodded to his demonstration and met her gaze with a furrowed brow.
"May I remind you, we are gigantic, powerful dragons, and nothing is going to stop us," Saphira responded crisply, slipping beneath his arm and bracing herself against the wall below him,
Whoa.
ready to help him push. He made a small noise of surprise as she shamelessly invaded his personal space without warning and propped her wings firmly against his chest. She stole a glance up at him as he looked down at her in shock. "Problem?" she asked sweetly. He stared for a second, confounded by her irreverent behavior. It almost looked like there was a bit of color in his cheeks as he studied her. Then he slowly smiled,
Not
shaking
being able
his
to
head and
get
turning
hints.
his attention back
Classic
towards
guys.
the wall.
That's straight.
Hello,
Sorry, that was a
Abigail.
really bad joke.
Hello, Abdab, how's it going?
Oh yeah, lots of people are here. Hello.
Whoa, hello. Isabella says, I got so addicted, I was like, you better not die on me, I need the ship.
Well, he can't
Yeah.
die because he has to, like, marry
Yeah,
her and have some kids.
Well, hey, other timelines could always happen. You never know. You can't
Suppose
have
so.
plot armor for sure. The multiverse is involved. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. The multiverse is not involved. Not here. Not yet. Ah! Opera. I get scared by opera. I'm sorry. Have you ever tried creating your own fantasy universe, like to the scale of TDP, The Elder Scrolls, and Lord of the Rings, where you have countries and histories? I mean, yes and no. I mean, not to the like super detailed extreme that many of those have. I've wanted to, but I mean, I am running a D&D campaign, and I have run several in this same world, so because of that, I have like large fleshed out countries and cities and locations and political strifes that affect different things. And since these campaigns that I've been running in the same world have happened over the course of hundreds of years, like events in one place affect another, characters that lived in one place go to other places, and so the politics and all that is very complex, and there is a deep history. I could turn it into like a really like fleshed out history and similarly or whatever if I wanted to. I just, I'm only doing what I need to in order to give the players the next step of their adventure. At this point, I have a lot of, lore that they're not going to get to for a while, and some lore that is, essential to their quest, but they haven't asked about it, and they haven't found out about it, and I'm like, I want to share my cool world with you, but, maybe eventually it'll happen. Anyway, I have all kinds of spoilers about my D&D world and stuff, but I should not share it yet, because Spoilers. Anyway,
Direct.
yeah. And the same kind of goes for the Paladins D&D world as well, because a lot of it was like after I took over DMing because the previous DM decided he was done DMing, and I'm like, okay, well I want to continue the campaign. Can I take over, please? So I couldn't even play my character anymore. I just got to be the DM and control the whole world. So I added a lot more lore and fleshed things out, and then everyone still didn't want to play, and they just were busy. So eventually, someday, we'll finish that story.
Maybe someday.
But yeah, I
Hold
have
on,
lots
let
of.
me grab.
I've loved making lore. I love doing world building. I love figuring out the background stuff that isn't even in the story and finding out how it all impacts each other. I particularly enjoy like thinking of the ramifications for like a new magic system or like a new spell or something that would kind of have like wide shaping effects on like large aspects of society, and it changes many things instead of just one small aspect. It's always entertaining to me. I'm sorry. Okay, can you keep up more with chat? I need to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, yeah, I just sent this weird leg stuff in the chat.
Amazing. Yeah, it's funny. I love that. That's great.
I was just I hadn't thought about that in like 100 years, and so he just said weird leg stuff, and I was like, what does that mean?
It's funny.
Anyway,
Imagine characters getting therapy like on screen. Like, wow, I don't have to imagine it. That's crazy, man.
That's
That's
pretty
crazy.
crazy. Wow.
That's wild.
Pretty crazy. Why am I acting so weird right now?
Akira kind of got therapy, but then his therapist like just, bro. Hold on, my bro.
Bro. Okay. Trying to look at chat. I have never made a big fantasy universe because I get really overwhelmed. I prefer to like write stuff that is in like a pre-established universe. So or like just a simple thing like, a modern story or like in like some nondescript like medieval kingdom. Like I don't like wow, that was so scary. Gonna have to go to leg therapy for that.
Did you hear my brother knocking on the door very
I
violently?
did, yes.
Because he lost his wallet, then he found it. So
Oh.
yay.
Good
He had
for
to
him.
report that because it's been missing like all day.
Oh.
And yesterday. So actually, pretty much all weekend to be honest. But
He had all day to find his wallet.
Exactly. Anyways, I was saying that Akira went to therapy, and then the therapist turned out to be like some guy who was trying to control people's lives. So then that was extra like trauma about a therapist.
Yeah,
So now he can't
I
really
can
go to therapy
imagine.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Jessica Jones went to therapy off screen.
Yeah.
What
Like,
about
imagine you just go to therapy and then your therapist is like, haha, what if I just, like, altered your entire existence so that everyone is happy, but now you have no free will? What if I did that, though?
So, like, Loki series, question mark?
what are we talking about? Are we talking about God or
No,
the character in my profile picture, basically he went to therapy and then the therapist like collected information on all of his friends and then like created this universe where like everyone was happy from it, and then it was all a lie and nobody had free will, so that was a problem. Yeah, it was fun. And then he got trauma from that because he can't go to therapy anymore because his therapist kind of gave him trauma, so like that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's why that was brought up. And then my brother knocked on the door very violently and scared the whole stream.
I'm still so scared.
I love history.
EA? Are you
What?
alive?
Sorry. Yeah,
Hi.
I'm back now. Did I miss anything?
Just talk about therapy.
I'm burnt
Yeah,
out too,
therapy.
England. I'm very tired right now. I don't know how I'm going to survive work tomorrow. I feel like I'm
Same.
either my throat is getting sore because I've talked so much, or like I'm developing a sickness from constant going, no rest, and also airport, and I've probably been exposed to way more stuff than I usually was at the conference. So maybe I should work from home tomorrow, or I'm going to freaking die. I don't know. Anyway, ooh, I have no idea what a D&D campaign is, but I'm like, heck yeah, I'm told it's fun. Oh yeah, D&D is so much fun. As you can tell from, me talking about my characters here, if you get really into it, you know, it can be like a really big thing. Um, yeah. It's basically storytelling,
Rabbit hole.
but cooperative, like with your friends, and slight rules around it to make it, you know, easier to resolve things if there are like so that you can have a formalized system for how the rules of combat work to help you figure that stuff out. Basically, that's all
Yeah,
the
D
D&D
and D
rules are for.
is somehow less chaotic storytelling and more chaotic storytelling at the same time. It's a little weird.
You're very right.
I just cackled because I saw something that is gonna be said soon, and it reminded me of something I said to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm concerned
D&D
and
is like
intrigued.
it's like the all the chaos of like messing around in a video game, but all the
Control?
no, I was gonna say because you were saying it's less chaotic but also more chaotic. So it's like
Yeah.
all the dramatic seriousness of like telling an epic fantasy story, but in the like wrapped up in the like the package of messing around and telling fart jokes the entire time or whatever. So even though you're like doing epic things sometimes, or sometimes you even just play a goofy like a Candyland campaign, and all your characters are like Bilbo Fraggins, and you know, I don't know. So yeah,
Yo, my name's Bilbo Fraggins, and I rap like
Hey.
a crazy person. I'm the #1 rapper in all of
That should be
well,
Malthus's last name, Fraggins.
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 Ew,
He's fragging.
ew.
He's getting the frags.
What is he fragging? He's frag out. Throws grenade.
Oh, I guess Silver, your character looks like he has brown hair in your profile
Oh,
picture. But I
no.
guess it's just the
Oh!
lighting.
Someone
No, it's black
No.
hair. Hold on, let me get a different picture where there's
I totally
I
thought it
almost
was
typed
brown until you said that.
I almost typed fraggin instead of the
Fraggin.
character. Well,
like
I yeah, it's black hair. Where's the boy? Here, let's share one of him beaten up. Hold on.
Woo!
Hold on. Because Wump.
We love Wump.
Okay, hold on. I just have to actually find it because it actually didn't give it to me when I opened up images. This is rude and
Aw.
disgraceful.
I feel that swagger.
Here-
I'm struggling to find people to play with in real life as well. I have
Okay, well, here's-
some online people to play with, but yeah,
Here's the
scheduling
boy.
is the hardest part of D&D.
Oh, the boy.
Boy?
Hello,
Where's
boy.
Who is boy? What is boy?
And then here's one of him
That is
beaten
boy.
up.
Oh, very good.
We love beating up people.
We love it, yes.
There goes my chances of being president.
We love beating up
That's actually
fictional
relevant.
people.
Fictional people. There we
Yes.
go. Can we just talk about how if I liked a girl and then they like did any kind of physical affection like this, I would just like actually die, just marry them right then on the spot.
Same.
I'd be like,
Same.
I would die for this.
The only physical
Aw.
affection I would accept is anything that a cat gets, so like pets and scratches.
I think
Anything
Ethan's
else that
saying
I'm
he
like,
would die because he would like it.
Yes,
Oh,
my heart
yeah.
would just stop. I would like have
Aw.
minor heart attack there.
how
Heart
to react.
palpitations.
Immediate death.
Yup, instant
Yeah.
death. I'm lonely. Can you tell?
Well, keep reading. You can get your virtual hug.
Well, it's not a real one though.
Oh, it's okay. You just you use fictional characters to cope with your trauma. That's what
That's
I do.
so true.
Yeah, same,
we
same.
impose our own, you know, misfortunes on these characters, and then we have the characters work through it, and that's a way for
Exactly.
us to work through it.
Ethan,
That's what
you
D&D
just
is for.
Yeah, you just described why I
This
got
is-
addicted to role playing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do with
You
D&D
just
too. There's
gestured
so
to
many
all of
people that
me.
like use D&D as a therapy technique, but not even on
Yeah.
purpose sometimes. And it's so
Yeah.
interesting. D&D has such a potential to do good for the world, and it makes me happy.
Aw.
You all should try D&D if you haven't. I mean, I know it's not for everyone. Not everyone enjoys it, but like I enjoy it. Anyway, where did we leave off?
Your mom.
The room is small.
Oh yes, Sophia went under his arm and was like near him, and he's like, "Oh, hello."
Oh, she got near me.
Wow, how dare
Oh,
she?
she's making expressions.
Flirt,
with her
flirt,
face.
First flirt.
Flirtatious.
Flirt.
Maybe not first flirt, but flirt. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to speak. I'm sorry, I didn't
Yes.
realize I was holding everyone up. I just can't read, I
You
can't
were.
see, I'm very blind and dumb and stupid. Those
just
are two
remembered,
separate
my
categories.
cat's in my
Dumb is
room
here,
somewhere.
stupid is here. There's like a Venn diagram. It's two circles directly on top of each other, but it's still a Venn diagram.
I just remembered my cat snuck into my room and I don't know where it is.
I'm so sorry.
Are you okay right now?
No, not at all. I know the room is small, but you could give a guy some warning. Sheesh, he joked.
What's wrong with wanting a hug? She retorted, gesturing to his various appendages that roughly encircled her. This throwaway quip seemed surprisingly meaningful to him. though, and his smile fell.
Oh.
This is the part that made me cackle, Ethan.
Oh. I haven't had a hug in years, he mumbled. Not since
Oof.
Mom died.
Because remember what I just said to you, Ethan?
No. What did you just say?
When we were okay, never mind. That's fine.
What? What did you say?
Well, now I need to know.
I need to know too. I was in the conversation and I don't know. What did we talk about recently? I remember
What were we talking
something.
The story that I'm gonna write, you silly goose.
Uh.
Are you?
Is that
Uh.
is it to do
uh,
with the
you know,
freaking AU?
I have like a negative amount of brain power right now. I'm really trying here. I think I kind of maybe. Oh yes, now I remember. It's been many years.
Okay, I'm gonna DM you the
I
thing.
got you.
Gosh,
I got
that made
you.
me laugh because you're.
Because what?
I'm squeaking.
Oh, because you came up with the exact same idea that I had.
I mean, yes. Which was the funny part, but then it made it funnier that you just did not know what I was saying, and then I didn't want to tell you because that made it funnier. Okay, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That's really sad.
Swagger says the best way to show affection is to give presents. I befriended my crush and I always gave her my Oreos. My friends call me a simp, but she liked my snacks I gave her. Oh, that's cute. Well, there's like, I don't know if this is like official science or whatever, but there's like a books out there called like the love languages, and it talks about how different people have different ways that they express and feel loved when they receive that type of affection. So there's like some people are like physical touch, some people like quality time best, other people mostly prefer gifts and that's the way they feel most appreciated and loved. Other people like words of affirmation, and the fifth one is going to kill me because I have no brain cells and I just listed four and I can't remember which one. Acts of service is the last one. I never would have gotten that in a million years.
Ethan, guess what?
What?
I took the love language quiz again a couple days ago, and
Did it
my
change?
results were completely different than what they used to be. So,
Oh.
Were you taking it from a different
Tea.
perspective? Like one for, oh, this is how I want my parents to love me versus this is how I want a lover
it
to
was
love
so
me?
hard
Or
because like I don't have a specific person to think of when it's like asking the questions because I don't have like a significant other, and I feel like that would be easiest because that's who like you're most obviously loved by. So it was like hard for me to really like picture what I was doing, but I just tried to answer it like the most idealistically I could.
See, mine has always been words of affirmation, but like it's the kind that you
You're
can't
cool,
just say
Silver.
to anyone.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like, see that one,
That's
that one's generic, so that one
Oh.
can be applied to anyone. But if you're
Look
like
at you're
super,
silver,
like,
cool. Wait.
like someone once said to me like, "Oh, you're my comfort person here," and I was like,
Aw.
"Oh." Like that kind of thing. And then like the other one that I've just recently realized because I met my online friends for the first time was I like receiving gifts when people think of me when they see things and that they just spontaneously give it to me. Like I don't know.
Wait. We're the same because when I took it, I got words of affirmation. Like mine used to be like physical touch and quality time, but this
Yeah.
time it was words of affirmation and giving gifts were the top two because like I guess words of affirmation didn't used to be up there for me because I felt like I wouldn't believe people if they said nice things to me.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes your parents can say things to you and it just feels kind of hollow. But like there are things that like people have said that have really stuck with me. Like even something you said one time, I like wrote it in my journal because I was like, oh, that's really nice and I liked that. So like things that like actually are like I don't know, thoughtful that people
Yeah,
say
like
to
well
me,
thought
I
out
like.
things
Yeah.
that people
And
Like,
then what
what do
you said
people
about
think of you?
giving gifts where like someone specifically thinks of you when they see something, like
Yeah,
not just like a random like I don't know chocolate or something, but just if they see something specific and they're like, oh, that reminds
exactly.
me of this
Like
person.
when it's a specific thing that someone was nice about that like they can tie to me only. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, yeah, like because it means they paid attention to like what things you talk about and what you're interested in.
Exactly.
So yeah, if
Do
someone just like
we do we need therapy? Do we need help? Are we
probably
okay?
let's hope the therapists don't make alternate realities.
Yeah. True.
So Ethan, are yours still
I
what were
haven't
yours?
I haven't retaken it. But yeah, I mean, I I want a hug. Okay,
Oh,
I like physical touch and quality time. Just be with me and be around me and hug me and stuff, and I'll be happy. I don't like gifts all that much. I don't really care, and honestly, I feel like guilty and indebted for like people spending money on me, and I feel like I have to repay it and all that. So that one not so much. Words of affirmation are okay. I'm
Mhm.
hearing like weird static in my ears. Is that me, or am I still here?
I
I
heard
get
the
that all the
local
time.
one.
Hmm. Acts of service. Yeah, I mean, it's nice if people do things for me, I guess. Yeah.
That one's my last one, acts
Yeah.
of service.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I like quality time and physical touch way more than anything else. Everything else is kind of like, eh. It's
Hmm.
nice, but
Okay.
eh. Yeah. So come visit me, sis. I
Okay.
need a hug.
Yes, you do, in fact.
Mm,
But you
I
have
thought
to
it was
wait.
funny how the other day the
I
stream
also
that I
struggle to
missed,
words.
because I was traveling, you guys kept mentioning my name like right at the beginning. I'm like, man, you guys miss me or something. I don't know what's going on.
What do we do without our most loyal viewer?
No,
You can't say that.
my
There's other people.
imposter syndrome.
I have imposter syndrome with my work stuff.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm around all these other programmer peoples, and they're like, don't worry, we have imposter syndrome too. But I'm like, but I have a reason to be imposter syndrome.
I know, right?
Hmm. Anyway, so Malthus hasn't hasn't
Hasn't
eaten
had a
haggis.
hoodoo.
Sorry, Malthus hasn't had a hug in years, not since
It's
his mom
12
dies.
p.m. Wait,
Very
no,
sad.
11
And we're
p.m.
late.
Hmm. I
What?
when I moved to Florida and there's no one that I'm close to down here, so I hadn't had a hug
I hadn't hood head
I
hood
hadn't
head.
had a hug in a while, and that makes me sad. I'm
Aw.
lonely.
Oh.
Then I
I'm
made
sorry.
a friend who was we happened to talk about that, and they felt pity for me, so they gave me a hug, and I don't know how I felt about that. So now I get hugs from that person, but I still don't know how I feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. That
Mm.
would be a situation mentally.
Mhm.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, Malthus, I told you it's really sad.
I'm sorry, where are we? Who am I? What's going on?
Your
Oh,
mom!
it's fine.
Oh.
Malthus, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's late. I think this is gonna be the last chapter for now. Maybe we'll do
Okay.
another
Yeah.
tomorrow. We'll see. It's fine.
Tomorrow? Okay.
If you want to, I don't know.
I
It's
was not
fine.
expecting.
Malthus grunted, preparing to.
Against your will.
I can't get through this line. It's
Would you like us
two
to be
words, and
interrupted again?
I cannot. It's 2 words. It's fine. You can keep interrupting me. Ah! It's. I'm caught in a time loop. It's fine.
keep
Nothing's.
talking.
You,
Just keep talking.
I can't remember the word she says.
Troglodyte?
Sif punches in the face. That scene.
Oh, you foul, lethal, loathsome little cockroach. Sorry.
That's Hermione.
I know. But that did happen multiple times. You gotta admit.
True, yes.
It's fine, Malthus grunted. That was not a grunt. Preparing to push off on the wall again. Saphira wasn't quite long enough to push off the back wall like he was, so she... Why am I hearing like static? I'm hearing like...
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's Silver's mic, I don't know.
No, my
like he
mic
was-
is not deactivate.
Hmm.
So
So she struggled to find a footing to gain her own leverage. It was Dad's fault that she died, he sighed, waiting for her to find purchase.
Oh. she replied, stretching to barely reach the bed with her legs giving her just enough oomph to help somewhat, but not at her full strength. It was an awkward angle with her arms partly extended, but because despite her increased size, she was simply a bit too short. Is that why you're so willing to help these corrupt warmongers capture and probably torture your own father to death?
Ouch. I'm already struggling to live with myself. Way to sum out how terrible I am for betraying my own blood to such a fate. He grimaced as they both began to push against the wall and doorframe with their combined might, giving it all they had.
I understand that you'd only do it to save the citizens, but I still don't get why you hate each other so much. Saphira strained to keep the conversation going while also trying to bend a solid wall of metal.
He doesn't hate me. That's what makes me even worse. Maybe he would hate me if he found out I was going to sell him out. But last I knew, he still cares about me. That's how I knew I could get him to surrender. That is, if that deal had actually gone through.
Wow, you're going to exploit the love of your own father to seal his own fate all for your own personal gain? Yikes, maybe you are a terrible person, Saphira
Oof.
muttered, scooting a little farther away from him again.
Ouch.
Yikes.
Who said anything about my own personal gain? Matthew growled back. I'd be the one stuck in prison with him.
Huh?
The deal was supposed to set you and your family and the other refugees free in exchange for the capture of my father, a high-profile criminal responsible for countless deaths.
You didn't include yourself in that deal?
I was just trying to do the right thing to help people, not push my luck for a big reward.
And you're happy with that?
Yeah, it's as much as we deserve. Matthew sighed, straining hard against the unyielding metal. Urgh. Finally, he stopped pushing, cueing Saphira to also give up. She stepped back for a moment, exiting the shadows beneath him to restore his personal space. She sat on her hind legs again and locked eyes with him sternly from a few feet away.
Malthus, stop beating yourself up, she advised. You do not deserve to be in prison for life just because you tried to help some innocent people avoid government-sanctioned abuse. Don't just listen to the morons in charge who tell you you're wrong. Your dad may have had some history, but you are not a bad person. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you're doing what you think is right. I've only known you for like 3 days now, and you're one of the nicest people I have ever known. You deserve the world, Malthus. She offered him a genuine smile, surprising even herself with how much she'd opened up to him. He looked stunned and gave her a little chuckle as he smiled back.
Thank you. That's probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, he admitted.
Would you like a hug? She offered, opening her arms.
I want a hug.
Aww.
He sputtered for a moment, then gave a slow nod as he took a step towards her.
Aww.
His haunches, I'm not even sure what a haunch is, shuffled behind him as he rotated in the uncomfortably unmaneuverable space, scattering more pieces of the shattered toilet as he turned to face her. He raised himself up onto his back legs as well to allow him to lean forward. I'm lagging.
You can do it. Come on.
He raised himself up onto his back legs as well to allow him to lean forward with his front legs and wrap them around her tightly. What followed was perhaps the worst, most discoordinated hug in the history of the world. She slid her paws around his back to hug him, but instead punched his wings, which she had forgotten connected to his back in that same spot. Malthus was a bit taller than her, so adopting the same posture forced him to tilt his head to the side at a weird angle to avoid hitting the ceiling, and both of their hind legs got in the way, only allowing their chests to make contact while their knees kept the majority of their bodies a considerable distance apart. Even so, Saphira pressed her chin into his shoulder and gave him a friendly squeeze. The hug was uncomfortable, but he was warm and gentle, so she didn't mind. Malthus simply remained there, arms wrapped around her, but seeming to have no concept of how long he should hold on before letting go. After a moment, he spoke. You know, I don't think dragons are designed to give hugs the same way Dragonborn do, he stated flatly. She couldn't help but laugh aloud at the unexpected observation, letting go and pulling away as she did so. He let go as well and continued looking at her with his neck tilted sideways against the ceiling. This may have been a mistake. His ridiculous posture made her laugh even harder, almost as though it was a safety valve to drain away the nervousness and emotions of the previous conversation. He smiled happily, clearly glad she was enjoying herself.
Fine, we'll take a rain check for this one then. But I expect a proper Dragonborn hug before we die, okay?
Oh.
She managed to reply between fits of laughter.
I'll be sure to schedule it in right before then. Sure. We just need to get out of here first, or we might never get the chance. His goofy smile returned to seriousness as he laid back down on his stomach and directed his attention to the doorframe. The wall seemed completely unaffected by their previous efforts. I think I've got to try melting the whole frickin' wall. Meltheus groaned, examining the size of the area he'd need to torch in order to make a dragon-sized hole. That seemed to work on the door, at least.
Well, get to it, hot stuff, she suggested. He rolled his eyes as she spoke again.
Ah! Oh boy. Wow, this escalated
What's that?
quickly.
Why am I forgetting? Flameo, hot mint.
Ah,
There we
yes. Hello, pirate doing nothing. How's it going? You are stumbling into chapter 11 of a long story. It started off with D&D characters, then the D&D campaign got canceled, as it always does, and I didn't want to just, drop those characters because they were interesting, so I went back to make a backstory as to how this guy met his wife. So here we are, romantic action comedy thing. I don't know what it is. I wrote it a couple years ago. We're just reading through it, occasionally sassing it, making fun of it. It's a good time. So feel free to judge or join with the chaos to your heart's content, depending on how you feel about this. High School Musical is haunting me. Also,
Oh, no.
EJ with a beard can't hurt you. EJ with a beard isn't real. Haha. I'm so sorry. I actually was considering like shaving off the mustache part, and leaving like just this part to give like a Viren beard, and see how I felt about that. Cause this has got to get in the way when I'm like eating food, and it can occasionally like bothers me. So, just for the practicality, I think I might shave the mustache, but keep the beard for the
Can't relate.
funness of like not having to shave is one reason. Also, it's kind of like a weird. I'm not used to having it. It's kind of new to me, so it's weird to have like this rough, spiky but also soft thing on my face that I can just kind of become dignified with. It's very weird. I'm not used to it, so it's kind of entertaining. Mostly the practical reason is why I'm considering keeping this for now. But also, yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think EJ with full beard and mustache is best? Do you think EJ with just beard but no mustache is best? Or do you think EJ clean shaven is best? I don't know. I'm sure you guys are all used to clean shaven EJ because that's how I usually am. But, I'm trying new things. I'm having a good time. What do you think, sis? I could show you pictures later, but I'm just too tired to search of them.
I don't know. And it always looks different in person than it does on video because
that's
like
true.
on video I can't see like if it looks scraggly or something, but
Mhm.
in person then I would be able to see if it was scraggly. And so like I feel like if you have a beard you have to like do beard things and like maintain it somehow, but then I know you
I
don't
have
actually
no idea
like
how
to
to do
do
that.
stuff like that. So I don't know. But I don't know.
Whatever
I feel like
you
it'd be weird for me to comment on your face, so
just comment right on that face. Don't worry about it.
I have no opinion. I'm like,
You
you
have
do
no
you.
opinion on my face? Oh, rip. My face is
Oh,
red
well,
ugly.
I mean,
Unremarkable.
recovery, how to,
I think that you should take inspiration from Seneca Crane.
Oh no, weird beard. I can't do that
I
because like
agree.
it's like absent and patchy exactly in the spot where he has his fancy designs. That's the only place that it's not growing.
Oh
Whereas
no.
it's fine everywhere else, but then the one spot where it just doesn't really grow that much there, and I was hoping that eventually it would fill in, but it like does not yet.
Yeah, so I feel like you'd have to like shave that part and do like
Gandalf
an
beard.
intentional goatee or something.
You could do the bits by his chin, but like I don't know about anywhere else.
I don't know. It's all, I don't know how appearances work. I've never paid attention to that kind of thing.
Why are we singing Bet on It in the chat?
I don't know. Someone mentioned High School Musical, and then
Isn't
there's
it
been
step?
continuous singing
Step,
since
step,
then.
step.
You can't see it, but I'm staring at the camera in shame, and I
I'll
don't know.
see it in about 10 seconds.
Oh boy. Anyway, so as far as why there's furry dragon nonsense, they drank a potion that turned them into actual dragons for now, and they're stuck in a room It's the very small room, not big enough for two dragons, so they're kind of like smushed together, and they're like, "Bruh, how do we get out of this freaking room?" And they're stuck for now, which
They
is
need to
so
play a
far
very
not
intense
very.
game of Twister.
That sounds suggestive, but
Oh
yes.
no.
I mean, I didn't say anything.
Dwarf beard. It's the beards. Viking beard. Yes, we have Viking blood.
We are 7 minutes away till the end of the chapter, according to Wattpad.com.
According to it, yes. Okay. Anyway, he spoke again. I just hope I have enough fire for it. The entire wall is one solid piece of metal, so the heat transfers along and it dissipates really quick.
Well, it's either we get out of here or we probably die, and then everyone we know and love also dies, so no pressure.
Gee, thanks. He grumbled, standing to his feet again and breathing a great jet of flames, sorry, at the doorframe and wall yet again. Saphir took a step back to resist the radiant heat as he sustained his long plume of destructive plasma for a full minute before stopping to inhale a long, deep breath. The wall was barely glowing and did not seem misshapen yet. Saphira was frankly baffled by the resilience of this material as she watched Malthus breathe another rumbling roar of fire at the same spot. She wished there was something she could do to help. Well, other than electrocute them as they stood on a metal floor, or the lightning ground out on the stone floor of the hallway without shocking them. Worth a shot. She said that, but...
It's fine.
You want to take over reading for a sec?
Sure. Silver, do you want to read any or no?
Silver
could.
turn.
Wait, where are we?
We
I
are
got
at Saphira
distracted.
Slunk, forward 2 stand.
She slunk.
Ah,
Slunk.
yes.
Whoa,
Whoa.
she's getting ready.
Just as you did that,
She is
lightning struck
prepared.
outside my window.
Isabella says, "They're so cute." Ah.
Saphira slunk forward to stand beside him, lightly brushing his flank with her shoulder as she approached him to let him know she was there. He remained focused on vaporizing that one specific spot on the wall with fire and brimstone and seemed to pay her no mind. She squinted against the heat and slowly opened her mouth, calling forth lightning from her stomach as she prepared to help. As a bigger, full-on dragon, it felt like her wall of light. Well, oh my goodness.
Well.
Was deeper and more intimately connected with her core than ever before. It wasn't endlessly, certainly, but it was way more powerful than her lightning breath had been before, and she was confident she could keep it up longer as well. She smiled, feeling powerful as she prepared to let loose. She nudged Malthus again, trying to get his attention so he wouldn't be startled by her shocking addition. I am fine. His eyes darted over to her just as sparks began to flash along her neck, and the air ionized her throat. And then a blinding beam of crackling blue energy leapt from her throat, twisting into a braid of tightly knit bolts. I'm struggling. House struck the wall at the same point Malthus had been barbecuing. Oh, lovely. He flinched in surprise, his flames faltering for a moment, but he quickly recovered, and they both continued pouring all their effort into the destruction of this wall. Thankfully, her lightning did not seem to harm them in any way, so she kept it up for as long as she could, taking a moment to recover after 45 seconds or so, when Malthus also took a brief break to check their progress. Thankfully, the wall was now glowing yellow and slowly dripping down to the floor as liquid metal pooled and flowed.
Now you're stuck in
not
a
quite-
room that's melting. Yay! Sorry.
Improvement.
It had not quite formed a hole, but a good 7-foot radius of the wall from their focus point seemed decidedly non-solid. Malthus quickly stepped forward to bat at the weakened wall, tearing through it like melted cheese and scattering
tasty.
chunks of semi-solid
Tasty.
liquid onto the ground. Cheese. Cheese, Gromit. Hold on, out of their way. He tore his paw to the side, joining this new hole up with the doorframe, and creating a hole that was tantalizingly close to
See you,
accommodating a
pirate, good night.
dragon.
I
But not
also need
quite.
good sleep.
Yes. Malthus spent a few more seconds clearing as big of a hole as he could and smashing through some more stone that had been behind the metal wall. Then he stepped back, rolled his shoulders, and prepared himself again. And that's when she smelled it, a sickly sweet scent like plum and lavender, overwhelmingly strong coming from somewhere nearby. She whirled and checked the chamber they stood in, seeing a heavy purple fog leaking in from the corners and wafting across the floor in large clouds. Once again, she nudged Malthus without a word, gazing at the glass gas with concern. He followed her gaze, furrowing his brow.
Up. Sorry.
Malthus.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here. I have been summoned. Awakened. That's not flammable, is it? He worried, snapping his maw shut and letting his fiery glow sink back into his chest.
Beats me, but this place seems to experiment with fancy new weapons and magic. I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of poison, Zafira replied.
Alright, then you have to go. Malthus urged her, nodding to the hole in the wall. It was still too small for either of them, but perhaps Zafira would be able to somehow squeeze through if Malthus pushed really hard. Oh!
What? I'm not leaving without you, she protested, planting her feet.
Not up for discussion. It doesn't help. What am I saying? Sorry, who am I? Not up for
Welcome
discussion.
to my world.
It doesn't help me, your family, or anyone else if you die in here with me instead of getting me safety and having a chance to bust us out. Now move. He hooked a forearm around her and slid her towards the still dripping hole. It really didn't seem like she could fit. She dug all four paws into the ground in front of her, trying to gain traction and resist his manhandling.
No, I can't even fit through that without ripping my wings off. And you're not planning to do that, are you? She snarled at him. He drooped, giving her a pleading look as she spread her wings as far as possible in the small room, stretching them more than she had ever previously attempted in her short time of having them. Maybe she could blow the fog into the hall or force it back into the holes it was coming from?
Oh, wait, I don't think that's a good idea. She got off Malthus by giving a powerful series of flaps, generating a huge blast of wind that immediately kicked up the gas and mixed it thoroughly throughout the entire room. Malthus trailed off as she stopped flapping, her wings scraping uncomfortably on the ceiling and walls. Sophia's next breath was laced with the overwhelming taste of a flowery chocolate, and the air seemed to coat her lungs with moisture like a heavy cloud. She coughed, retching at the strong smell and taste, as she looked around wistfully for the blanket to cover her nose, only to realize it had melded with her current dragon form. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best play, he sighed, coughing slightly. How can we try to get you out of here? What other option do we have?
I just don't think it's going to happen unless you literally chop my limbs off, Malthus, she protested, stepping over to the hole and comparing her body size to the hole they had made. It was close, but not close enough. She stuck her head through the hole to sneak a quick glance down the curved hall. There were numerous soldiers at the ready, nervously holding rifles as they stood at a distance waiting for the target.
That's a
Upon
terrible
seeing
idea.
her head stick out, they fearfully lowered their guns down as she pulled her head back into the cell. She shook her head at Malthus. She shook her head sadly at Malthus, who seemed desperate and upset. He gestured his head for her to move out of the way, and he let loose an angry yell, accompanied by a powerful beam of white hot flames at the wall again.
Ah!
But before giving it much time to heat up, he simply charged his full body weight into the wall, slamming into it with enough force to shake the whole floor and make stone buildings rumble in complaint.
That's a broken shoulder.
It did not widen the hole again. Again, Malthus backed up a few steps and slammed into the wall at full force, rattling the foundations of— Oh, why, my computer just freaked out.
Rattling the foundations of the room! Sorry.
Of McKay's computer!
I broke McKay's computer!
It jumped to the bottom trying to find my
Malthus
place
slammed
again.
the wall so hard it broke reality.
Malthus backed up a few steps and slammed into the wall at full
What does
force,
flowery
into the
chocolate taste like?
room,
Ask the chat.
but not improving the way out. Saphira stood to the side sadly, watching at a loss as he threw himself at the wall again and again like a caged animal. She couldn't help but feel sorry for him as he let loose another mournful cry.
Ah.
Malthus, stop. That's— She found herself get interrupted by a yawn. That's enough, she finished, noticing Malthus's heavy breaths and slowing vigor. Suddenly she realized what this fog was doing. Malthus, stop! It's sleeping fog, she warned as he flopped to his side tiredly. Get up, we have to— She yawned again. We have to stay— A third yawn. Awake! Dang it! She tried to stop herself as Malthus blinked at her in sleepy confusion. Oh,
Don't
this
pass
is just
out!
rude.
Don't pass
out!
What's that from?
Percy Jackson musical.
Oh.
She growled, pacing back and forth the length of the room. We were so close, you cowards, she muttered under her breath as Malthus rested his head against the wall and slowly closed his eyes, his breathing slowing. She could feel her own eyelids growing heavy as well, though she was working hard to keep her mind and body active. Her adrenaline was pumping as she knew death was near, but it was not enough to stay the effects of this magic smoke. One of her legs suddenly gave out on her, as though it had lost the strength to support her.
Uh-oh.
She angrily got back to her feet, desperately searching for anything else she could do, but succumbed to the omnipresent rolling fog which darkened the room as it poisoned the room with its sweet flavors. There was nothing left to be done.
Poisoned the room.
She held back tears as she approached Malthus, whose cheek was sliding down the wall as his head slowly collapsed to the floor. He was sprawled right in front of the wall they had worked so hard to burn a hole in, but it hadn't been enough to burn this place down, and now they would die. Saphira slipped her neck under Malthus's head and gently lowered his head to the ground, where he remained motionless with a peaceful expression on his face. Saphira grimaced, thinking how these magistrate dogs would come in and find them looking like cute, trusting, slumbering chumps, and then would slaughter them all the same. No, not like this. Her vision began to blur, shrinking her peripheral vision into oblivion as she fought hard to remain conscious. The more effort she put into moving around, the more her every breath poisoned her. Once again, she pressed her head against Malthus and began to shove him across the floor, sliding him to the only corner of the room that was not immediately visible through the giant hole they had created in the wall, just to hide them for a few seconds more before they were found. He groaned lightly as she tucked him into the corner, and his wing flopped under her head where it rested. In the cavern beneath his wing, the light was less agonizingly bright, and the quiet was nice, except for the ringing in her ears that had begun to drown out her senses. That was less nice. She took one last look at him as he slept, curled up with his arms out in front of him as though protecting something that wasn't there. She thought for one final moment, her mind growing hazier by the second. I guess it's not like he'll know, she shrugged, clapping her back against him and draping his warm arms around her. Oh! With her head no longer supporting it, his wings sunk lower to cover her, and he seemed to shift a little in his sleep to cradle her closer. Cute! She smiled faintly and nestled her head into the crook of his neck as she began to drift off as well. The last thought to cross her exhausted brain was that this was a much waiter. What? This was
a much waiter.
The last thought to cross her exhausted brain was that this was a much better way for dragons to hug. Okay, I struggled. There we go.
The very last sentence.
You made it so far.
I think her last thought was this was a much more cool way to die.
Yes.
I agree.
I
Cute.
entirely forgot about all that. that
Oh,
is cute. Mhm.
Cute.
Was that too far? Too cute?
No, it makes me feel less weird about writing stuff that would potentially be similar.
Good stuff.
Validation. Can we all clap for validation?
If Ethan's a
Validation.
boy and he can write that, surely I can write that too.
I'm lonely.
Aw.
I mean,
Exactly.
guys and girls want the same thing, right? We just want
Yes.
love and affection from someone we care about, okay?
Yeah.
Very
And
valid.
we have to write it because we don't have it in real life.
Yeah.
So true. Wait, so if we write about pain, does that mean we want it in real life?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
no, there's the comfort that comes after the pain.
Yeah, no,
every
you're
story
right. You're
has
right.
pain,
That is,
otherwise it's
that
not
is
an
what we want.
interesting,
Yeah.
roller coaster to go on.
Because we're already in pain, so we just
Yeah.
want the
Yes.
comfort from the pain.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
my
Yeah, you're
opinion!
correct.
Why are we talking about killing penguins in the chat? What is happening?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't. I'm lagging a bit, so I don't have stream open anymore.
Oh,
That's rough, buddy.
That's
Peter, no one wants that.
Oh no!
Where's my GIF? Where is it? I saved it for this reason. There it is. It's such a good quote. I don't know
Well-
why I use it so much.
It's so good. I love it.
So I think when they wake up, they will no longer be dragons. But
Oh.
that was a fun
Yes, because
distraction.
they've had a rest.
Well,
They've had a rest.
no, but they're falling asleep for
Oh.
long enough for the potion to wear off. The
Hmm.
commander was
And
like,
then
"Oh
they
yeah,
will be
it'll be gone in
Cuddling.
an
Oh
hour."
my gosh.
Oh ho, oh ho ho.
Oh ho
I
ho.
don't think they'll find out about that. I think it'll just be like they'll already be like in chains or something whenever,
Oh.
because like the magistrate is waiting for that to wear off, and they just pumped like Holocaust gas into the room. Why do they even have this room prepared for this kind of situation? This is ridiculous. Anyway.
I have no idea.
Just in case, your prisoners turn into dragons, you gotta make sure you have a dragon-proof room. It happens all the time. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Do you dislike these two chapters?
I liked the wump. I
Wump.
liked the flirt. I liked the hug.
Mm,
Because clearly I
I love
like the
the
trope
hug.
of a person has not been hugged in extraordinarily long time and gets a little freaked out when he is hugged.
That's me though. I need to find me a girl.
I
But
like
I can't find
when
people because keep to myself.
I like the character that always gives the hugs but never gets the hugs.
Mm,
Oh.
mm.
What is happening? Why did my chat break?
Mm.
Your mom.
Okay. Oh.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Whoa, cool. Have fun. Well,
Ooh.
I am actively falling asleep and collapsing in exhaustion as we
Is there
speak.
gas
She
in your
falls
room?
asleep on stream, not
Mhm.
clickbait.
Sleeping stream. Haha. Wee.
Some people do that, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it. That's probably not healthy. Like for
yeah.
people to be watching you, not necessarily the sleep itself. That's probably fine, but
A little bit creepy.
that's a very
Little
bit
bit.
wee woo.
Little bit wee woo. Hello, Jenna. You
Uh,
came just as the stream is ending.
let's see. That was part 11. Now we have
Fashionably late, I
12,
see.
13, 14, 15 left. Whoa, do you think we could get through the entire rest of the story next stream, maybe? Possibly? Who
Ooh.
knows?
Maybe. Depends on if you
If
wrote a freaking hour-long one again.
If we completely
yes,
ignore
true.
chat and just speed read.
I do think that's true. I do think that there are a couple long chapters here because, you know, there was a lot to wrap up. So
Climax.
yeah. Honestly, I think if I remember correctly, I had written chapters like 1 through 8 or 9, and I was like, okay, I want to wrap up the rest of the story in chapter 10. And then I was like, heck, this is so long. It ended up being 15 chapters because I couldn't, I just couldn't, I
The
couldn't
classic.
justify yeah. So it ended up being 15 chapters because there was no choice.
Classic writer dilemma. This is gonna be
I like
3
these chapter
Oh, 20 chapters.
Clap and a half to
How
my
did I get
previous
here?
Yep. So next time we will do chapter 12. Let's just see how long these are in terms of 30 minutes left on that one. It says. This one actually looked pretty short. 16 minutes left.
You're pretty short.
I am not short. I am
Which is
exactly
funny 'cause he's taller
sheep
than
ba
I am, and I am
years
pretty
old.
short.
Yeah, there's like 2 hours maybe worth of reading according to Wattpad's estimation. Does it estimate based on how long you're taking to get through it, or does it just estimate based on average people reading?
I think it's average. I don't know.
Interesting.
Because for us, it would say like 300 years because we stop and we read chat.
Elmo's world. A clown nose honk.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for hanging. It was a good time. I think Joycey made another art. Let's see if I can find it about them as dragons. Although you know what? She actually may have drawn it before this chapter, and that was the inspiration for this situation happening. Perhaps. I don't know. Eh. 1 second. Frickin' my laptop is so old and so laggy. I am trying to type in my password to log into it, and it only registers like half of the keystrokes and then goes, that was the wrong password. I'm like, yeah, I know, I typed the right password. You just didn't listen because you're too slow to listen. No offense to slow people listening. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Like myself. Where am I? Who am I? Am I existing? I'm not sure. There's no proof on that
Oh,
one.
we got existential real fast there. Hold on.
We really did, yeah.
That was quite the escalation. Also, my cat has been
McCathan.
sleeping under my bed this entire time.
Oh,
I want
Yeah.
this.
My parents have been gone all weekend. They're at like a Blue Jays game, so I'm just like
Well,
my cat likes to be around people. So he's discovered that my brother and I hang out downstairs most of the time. So now for like the past couple days, he's been hanging out downstairs.
Cute.
Where is this image that I speak of? Doodly doot.
Doodly-doo. Wait, hold on. La-da-dee, la-da-doo, la-da-dum. La-da-dee, la-da-doo. I call that one Squidward in
I
the
have discovered
shower.
it. I am sending it.
Aw,
Oh,
oh,
cute.
they're so cute!
Cute, cute.
Is they sleep?
Cuddle.
I think
I
she
love
posted it on
cuddling.
Twitter, and she put the caption like, "Your daughters are awake again" or something, and he's like, "Before sunrise, they're your daughters," or maybe it's the other
Aw.
way around. It's not clear
Aw.
who's talking to who.
Ooh,
The Lion King.
Hmm?
I
It's a
understood that
Lion King
reference.
reference.
Is it?
You
Yeah,
did not
it's like
know that?
No.
it's with Mufasa
I have
and
not
his
seen
wife.
The Lion King in the past 15 years.
You
Oh,
silly
my.
goose.
I'm not a
It's like
silly
at
goose for
the
not.
very beginning of the movie too. I am disappointed.
I'm sorry, I did not know this reference. My bad. I'll have to
Yeah, no,
brush
that's
up
the
on my
Lion King
Disney.
reference.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny
What?
because
Why is there a woman
Simba.
squatting on? Is she pooping so that her weight
What?
decreases?
No, she was saying haunches.
Oh.
That's what
That's it.
punches are.
I see.
Yeah.
That's the position.
Interesting.
Haunch, haunch.
Love you all. Thank you for streaming, McKay and EJ. Yes, thank you for watching. Otherwise, it would be pointless for us to be here.
I'm making the heart shape with my hands right now. Oh no, wait! If EJ's in DMs, I can do this. Haha! Take that, chat.
Oh, that was for
Whoa!
you.
How many fingers do you have? Maybe I can do that.
I have so many.
I am doing it too, but not very well.
I made a mistake.
You did it.
Okay,
Congrats.
that's not how you
You've
do it.
invented
Oops.
the bleeped out swore heart.
That's like the violent version, because like that's the pound symbol, so you're pounding them with love.
Oh no. I
You
got
will be loved. Affection is yours. You cannot resist. Anyway, God bless. Hope you all have a good night. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll stream tomorrow if McKay and I are both awake and up for it, or maybe we'll stream next week. Either way, we will see if we can get through the rest of the story. My guess is it'll probably take 2 streams just based on the amount of chaos that we usually do, but who knows? Maybe we will finish it next time. I don't know. That is a lot of heart emojis. Wow. It's an endless
my love.
gift. I can't look away. My eyes, they're broken. Help. Help. Help.